celebrate our freedom with club.
Freedom, yeah.
Yeah. I've just come from a fresh shave, so like at least I'm okay. My beard had really grown in the quarantine.
Of course, you are in prison. That is expected. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm very happy now. Like you guys can now welcome me to the UK. It's now that I'm seeing the UK. I was just in the airport.
And you're yet to see more.
So good.
Yeah.
So I think we're live on Facebook.
Yeah.
Live on Zoom. Live in Kenya. Live in the UK. That's really, really fantastic. So we probably, you know, we are starting off our webinar today. I think we are happy to have the president around, and of course the influential team, Gertrude, Catherine, Livingstone, Amolo, Eunice, all streaming in from the UK, so which is really fantastic.
When the meeting started right now, I was like, had a plan. But it turns out that in the first
We need to unmute, to mute so that we can start off on a good note. I think we can give ourselves like a minute or two to probably, you know, allow a few people in, and we'll be able to kick it off from there. But as we do so, probably we can just, you know, breathe in, breathe out for a minute, then continue with our jokes kidogo as we wait for the other members to come in.
As long as they're not hearing our jokes.
So Mercy, you have everyone on board, right? Good. Okay, I think we are good to go. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our webinar today. I can't say this is our number one or number last, but it's one of the webinars, series of webinars that we do. We do something called democratization of access to opportunities. So instead of this discussion is be able to Good. Yes, I was just saying the intent of this discussion is to be able to help nurses, not just necessarily helping nurses, but probably to mentor them. And Gertrude will agree with me that mentorship is also very, very good course when you're a nurse, because we learn from others. So it's also a way of learning from others, especially when you're a nurse, and not necessarily when you're a nurse, because I'm sure there are people who are listening into this who might not be necessarily nurses. There might be parents who are raising up maybe young children who will end up becoming nurses at some point. There might be, fiancés of nurses. There might be institutions that train nurses. So I'm sure there are quite a number of interested parties that are listening into this. And we are happy to have the president of the Nursing Association in Kenya with us, and of course, many other nurses joining us from the UK and Canada and the US and many other parts of the world. So we really appreciate for that. So for the sake of introductions, I'm sure you can see my name on the screen. My name is Ronald Wekesa Wafula. I come from Bungoma County, from a place, from one of the famous places called Sirisia. I'm sure you can Google that, which is very important. So I'm one of the people behind Relage International Limited. I'm sure we have probably related in one way or the other with you, either on my platforms or any other place. But I'm sure we've been able to interact with you in one way or the other. So Relage International was formed a couple of years ago, with the main intent then being still access to information. So we were doing a couple of trainings in the universities. By the time we folded, doing trainings in the universities, we impacted more than 3,000 university students. And then a couple of, I think almost a year ago, we decided to now venture into probably a new field. And the new field is, helping, solve unemployment in Kenya. Not necessarily, and solving like the whole unemployment, because employment in Kenya is quite rampant. So we can't be able to solve everything. But just like the hummingbird, just doing what we can with the little we have. And of course, the little we have are the few people who belong to Relage, the likes of Mercy, the likes of Eunice, the likes of Evans who are here with us today, the likes of Ejakite. So we came together to say, fine, is it possible that we can be able to, prepare these nurses in Kenya to get opportunities outside Kenya? And of course, outside Kenya means you can get opportunities in the UAE, you can get opportunities in the US. But I think everyone will want to go to London. I think that's usually the that's usually the catch point, that everyone will want to be in London, and probably that's the intent of the discussion today. So it is just to ensure that we prepare you to be able to surmount the challenges, if any, so that you can be able to go and work in London. Not necessarily in London, but maybe you could work in other places like Glasgow, in Scotland, or in Wales, or in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, or in England. So it's a vast country, and the speakers will be speaking about today. So that's what that's our main intent as Relage, is to be able to help nurses in Kenya secure opportunities abroad. Like that is what that's our main business as a company. But as a company now, we also offer quite a number of services. I don't want to speak about all of them because Marceline and the team will be speaking about that today. But to just give a brief synopsis of that, is we prepare you as a nurse. So when you register in Kenya, for example, with the Nursing Council of Kenya, it's good. But when you want to go and work outside, you also need to be certified. So we also prepare you to get certified in the UK, for example. Becoming a UK RN means you have to do CBT exams. You have to be proficient in communicating with English. So you have to do Ielts. You must have your CV meeting international standards, among many other things that you're supposed to do as a nurse. So that's basically what we do as a firm, ensuring that we pair you to opportunities in the UK, and at the same time, you don't forget home. And that's why we have Mr. President here, because how can you as a nurse in the UK, for example, be able to be part of the Nursing Association in Kenya, or how can a nurse in Kenya also get opportunities in the UK? So that's the intent of this discussion today. I think I've summarized what we do as a firm, probably spoken a bit boldly, but that's what we basically do, plus many other things and many other countries. So without wasting time, I think I need to take this mantle to the speakers, because I'm not a speaker of the day. I'm just trying to moderate, stepping in for Eunice, who might be joining us soon. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome Marceline, who will welcome the rest of the team. Thanks, and welcome, Marceline. Oh, Marceline, you decided to use sign language. That's interesting.
No, I wanted to say I need somebody to unmute me.
That's fine.
Okay,
Take it up.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Maslin Amolo Omwango. Those are the official names I go by. But here in the UK, through the process of acculturation, I need to let you know of my preferred names. So a patient will tell you, my name is Maslin Amolo Omwango, but I prefer to be called Granny. So totally outside your official names, but that is how they operate this side. So if you see the name Granny anywhere, that's still me, because I was named after my grandmother. So it stuck with me since childhood. And when I came here, I got these people, they asked me preferred name and I said Granny. That's all about me. I'm a UKRN. I came here in 2019. By next month, I will be 2 years old. It's been a journey and it goes so fast. And so far, so good. As Ronald has mentioned, we are here with the intention of just enlightening you on the UK pathway and the impacts of your life after you come into this place, if you make a choice to. We have several speakers whom I'm going to introduce before I delve deep into what I was supposed to say for the day. And I am really happy to have them on board, and I really appreciate the effort they've made to be with us today at Relage. So I'm going to let them into just a brief introduction of yourself. We'll start with Mr. President, Mr. Obengo, and then we go to Gertrude, then Catherine, then Livingstone, and Eunice. We need to see you. I hope your microphone is okay now. So Mr. President, please.
Hello, you can hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, thank you.
Though we can't see you, but we can hear you.
Oh,
Anyway, that's fine.
my name is Alfred Obengo, the president of National Nurses Association of Kenya. I'm very delighted to be part of this webinar, especially to share our experiences from both different spheres and where we are working. And I'm also very, very proud of our Kenyan colleagues who are actually flying our flags high, the flag of Kenya in UK. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Mr. Alfred.
Thank you, Mr. President. Gertrude, please.
My name is Gertrude Orodo, and I'd like to thank Relage for giving me this opportunity. I can say I am a Kenya registered nurse, because once in the register, always in the register, unless you're striked off. So I am both a Kenya registered nurse and a UK registered nurse. I run a platform called World Class Nurse, which I use just to share my experiences as a new nurse. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gertrude. On to Catherine, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Catherine Maynard, and just like Marceline Omwando, Granny, I prefer Kate Mimi. So call me Kate Mimi. Kate Mimi is my pen name. Kate Mimi is what most of my friends and colleagues know me by. And I am Kenya registered community health nurse, Kenya registered nephrology nurse, and now United Kingdom registered nurse. I also am a blogger, just like Gertrude. I run katemimi.com, and I use Facebook under the hashtag Team Phoenix. That's what I do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kate. On to Livingstone, please. Our latest and newest entrant to the UK, just out of prison today. Livingstone?
Hi everyone, Livingstone Mambo. I prefer either of the name, so I haven't yet decided which one, which one to prefer to being called. Yeah, so I've had like I'm yet to be fully registered, but I'm very happy to have joined the UK nurses this year. So I've been a mentor, specifically on the Ielts writing at Reed.
Thank you very much, Livingstone. Eunice, are you ready now? Hello?
Yeah, I'm ready now. I've had problems with my laptop. The camera isn't working well, but I'm here. Tasaidiana.
Yeah.
So my name is Eunice Kusa. Preferred name is Eunisa. I'm a Kenya registered community health nurse. I come from Kakamega. I am a UK registered nurse working in a neuro rehabilitation unit. So I welcome you here at Trilage. I'm happy to be with you. Apart from that, I'm one of the co-founders and also CBT trainer with Trilage International. So as we continue with this journey, I welcome you all as well. Thank you.
All right. I don't know if Eunice is to pick up, or Ronald can, we've done the introductions. So Ronald can guide us, or Eunice, either of you.
Let us pick on Ronald to guide us because my laptop is still giving me troubles. So Ronald.
No worries. I mean, it's technology. So sometimes you can't beat it. So yeah. So thanks for the introductions, Gertrude, Ketmimi, Marceline, Eunice, and Mr. President. We really appreciate for that. And I'm sure you can all see that it's going to be a very good conversation, that is geared towards, making Kenyan nurses who are in the United Kingdom and many other parts of the world to be a one unified team. And of course, that means you also, when you're working abroad, you have links at home. And of course, the links at home can as well learn for one or two things from you. Then hopefully they can as well fly, or hopefully they can as well better the working environment back home, because that is a long-term plan for everyone, that at least we can as well be able to sort our healthcare issues and appreciate the role of nurses back home. So I think we're going to probably get into the gist of the whole discussion. So we'll start by getting a brief introduction of what we do as Readers. Of course, I've explained in very brief, but I think Marceline can take over. Then in a bit, Mr. President will be taking over to probably explain to us some of the challenges, because he sits at the top. When you sit at the top, it's like you're sitting on a tree or sitting on a mountain. You kind of watch the city. So he has been at the helm of that association for some time. And I mean, being at the top means you can be able to see a lot on the ground. And we probably would love to hear that, especially in terms of challenges facing nurses. Of course, unemployment is one of them, but with you can be able to share stories, and we are all human beings. Human beings are made up of stories. So probably that's what we'll be hearing. And of course, we'll get to Gertrude and go to Ketmimi with time. So Marceline, if you're there, take it up and tell us what Reelage is and what we're doing with our different products and services and mentorships and many other things that we do. Thanks. Unmute yourself, Marcy, then proceed. Good.
I can't seem to unmute myself. The computer tells me the host has to unmute me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I'm just going to talk briefly. I won't bore you much with the details about what we do at Reelage, but basically we are a recruiting agency, and we have agency links on this other end that we use to get nurses jobs overseas. So far, we are covering the whole of Britain. I don't know if to say Britain or United Kingdom, because I mean to include Wales, Scotland. I don't know which term to use. The UK, and is it Northern Ireland? Yeah.
Yeah, Northern Ireland.
So is that Britain or is that the
No,
UK? Which?
That's UK actually. So Britain is part of the 5, right?
What about England?
Okay, England is Britain. It's the same thing. Anyway.
Yeah, so we cover those areas, and recently we introduced Qatar, and we had a webinar towards that. And we thank you very much for those who attended. We keep on talking to you guys on our various forums about those pathways. But today we are measuring on the UK and also the effects of COVID-19, the upcoming changes on NMC-CBT, mentorship, why you need a mentorship as a nurse, just the same way Ronald had introduced the importance of such programs. At the same time, one of us will talk to you why you can use the UK as a step to better. Probably you've been struggling back at home to get out of the country, to get overseas, but it's not been easy. I think the UK offers you a better chance as a stepping stone to that opportunity, to that country that you want to go to, probably Australia, New Zealand, Canada. We also have Canada now as one of our pathways, and the US also as one of our pathways. So at Relage, every advice, we strive to be honest and as open with you as possible, because we don't want you to come. You are coming to a strange country. You are leaving everything behind, your family. You are leaving your friends. You are everything you built up from the time you started being an adult and dependent on yourself, and the people you are attached to. You are coming to a new country. So we appreciate that fact. And that is why we strive to give you the real information as it is. Some of us were not that lucky to have that information before we came. So we came in blindly, and most of these shocks, we were just getting them from this end. But people like us now have the opportunity, the experience to talk to you through such forums so that you can make an informed decision. All this is just to give you information. At the end of the day, it is all about you, your dreams, and what you want to make of it in this life. Life is a struggle right now. As I speak to many nurses back home, it is a great challenge. People like Gertrude, Livingstone, Catherine will only tell you it is better. We are not saying it is perfect, but we are saying it is better than where you are right now, back home in the country, because we are all aware, we have experienced all the challenges. And I believe since I came in 2019, people have been telling me, Mercy, oh, it's worse. It's gotten worse and everything. So you have such opportunities. I believe they are God sent for you to get information and make an informed decision on the path you want to take with your life. Nobody will coerce you. We won't charge you for any advice. That's why our inboxes are always open. Our forums are always open, and we strive to be as open with you as possible. When you want second opinion, we are always referring you to so and so to get that second opinion, so that at the end of the day, you have all you need to decide on which pathway you want to take. So we give free advice and guidance on the various pathways: the US, Canada, Qatar, UK, Ireland. We give such kind of advice. And then we also offer Ielts training. Ielts is just a proficiency exam to test your abilities to speak, write, read, and listen to English. You are coming to an English-speaking country. There's no Swahili here. There's no mother tongue here. I cannot use Luo as much as I long to use Luo even on this forum right now. I feel like I need to speak Kiswahili and Kijaluo, but I'm trying to be official about it. I really miss, you get to miss. There's that bit of missing. You're always missing to speak your language, because the moment you step outside your door, it is English. There's no other language that you can use to communicate other than English. So we do Ielts training, as in we prepare you for that exam. And it takes about 6 to 7 weeks of training. And Once that is done, we assess your confidence. IELTS is a challenge to many. Many have repeated IELTS, the exam itself. There's a lot of, especially reading and writing components. I've seen many people really find it tough, very tough. And for that, we came up with marathon classes where we focus. It's candidate centered. We focus on the areas that you're weak or the areas that challenged you during the exam. And then we ensure that you are confident enough before you are able to sit for this exam again. So we really encourage you to take your time. Right now, I've heard that Mr. President has just lifted up some of the rules. We are hoping that paper-based exam will be back soon. But so far, it has been computer-based because of the restrictions. And we really have no control over what the British Council and the IDP centers, which are the major examining bodies for IELTS, do and how they conduct their exams. So at Relage, we will train you for computer-based IELTS, and we'll train you for paper-based IELTS as well. So depending on what is available for you on the websites for British Council or IDP, then you'll be able to, you have a chance of selecting your exam date depending on availability. Those are bodies. It is important to note that those are bodies that are incorruptible. You know, the Kenyan way is like, Mercy, can you help me get a date on the 12th to sit for an exam? I cannot do that with the British Council, unfortunately. I'll be very honest with you. What is available, the dates that are available on their websites and the type of exam that is available on their website, that is what is, and nobody can change that. So with the rules that have been laxed, we are hoping that the candidates will have a chance to do the paper-based exams, which is the one they really like and they really are prepared for. We would really love to support you in every way that we can. So we normally just advise those who are waiting for paper-based to just continue revising. IELTS needs zeal. It needs a lot of hard work, but it is worth it. Just focus on the goal and it will drive you. So you need, like, other than outside the classroom, you need your time also for self-revision. If it is possible, make a timetable in your house. If it is speaking, find somebody. You can call me or you can call any members of the team. Just bring a topic, let's talk about it. Let's practice your speaking. I used to practice with the members of my household. They would just listen and as I talk, so that I build my confidence also, because when you go to that exam room, the cameras and everything staring at you, it can be a bit intimidating. So you need to be prepared. We prepare you for such mentally and psychologically, and you decide as a student now, I am ready for this exam. Livingstone will talk more about how we do the training. So there's the normal IELTS training. As a beginner, you are joining, we will train you for that 6 weeks. The marathon class is for the retakers, and we will train you for a period of 3 weeks for that. And then other than IELTS, we do NMC CBT training. There are specialties training that we conduct, like mental health. If you have mental health experience or you have mental health certification, and you are a diploma, degree, you have those specialties, and at those levels, you are eligible to work in the UK and you are needed. You are selling like hotcake right now. I have an employer who has put me into a project that runs up to December just to recruit for them mental health nurses. So don't lose these chances. Both private and government hospitals in the UK really need mental health nurses. So you can start registering with us. December is still quite far away. And the UK process is just basically on your journey. Once you pass your IELTS, once you pass your CBT, the process is not long. Within like 6 months, I have a gentleman who started in January. We are at the interview level. He's done his IELTS, he's done his CBT, and he's passed. So we are at interview levels, and most likely this guy is going to come to the UK in June. So it's 6 months or less, depending on your speed, depending on your zeal and resilience. Other than Eunice will talk about NMC CBT training, as she's a mentor for that. We also have a referral program. For every IELTS candidate that you refer to us, we reward you for that. It's not for free. We instantly give you your 500 shillings. And so any referrals that you do, just talk to the candidate you are referring to, quote your name, give us your number, and you'll get your reward. Other than that, we have a sponsorship program because of the challenges that people are facing back at home. Village was mandated to start a program at least that considers the needs of the very needy nurses who really want this journey. They really have the desire to pursue their career abroad, but the means is not available in terms of finances. So far we have 2 students who are in class under the sponsorship of, under the trainings. By class, I mean the trainings under the sponsorship of Village. And we just do that. I know it is small, but we just do that to at least raise somebody out of that situation and help them to achieve that dream. So we do that just for that sake. Of course, we align your CVs. The CVs back at home, there's a way we do. I don't know. I can talk a lot about CVs. But we really have to look at the CVs that we present to your international employers. They are just not CVs that you draft with your handwriting and you ask me to share. I will tell you that there's a design, there's a structure, that there's a way we need to present this. So we do alignment of CVs as well. And currently, before I go into the UK pathway, currently we have vacancies. I have vacancies, I have interviews I'm being posted for every week. I need nurses. We are not sending you away. Even if you didn't start with Village, you are looking for a job. Our aim is for you to meet your goal. You started this process for you to get a job. You've done your Ielts, you've done your CBT, you are looking for a job. We don't care where you trained from. We just want to assist you get that job. So reach out to us. Our contact numbers are on our forums, our Facebook links, our WhatsApp links, they're there. You can all easily get my contact as well. And you can also write to us at talktous@village.com. You can send your documents there. Let's get you this job. As at Friday, I received another list for this week. They need theater nurses, they need general nurses, medical, surgical experience, mental health nurses. Mental health nurses, I'm really failing there. Please, mental health nurses, if you're listening out there, we really need you. We train for mental health CBT as well. You will be good. I've never had anybody fail CBT. I've never had anybody fail CBT. So it's not anything that is scary. Please reach out. You are needed out here. And briefly, just on the UK process, the UK pathway is not complicated. Once you do your IELTS exam, you pass. Once you do your NMC CBT, you pass. By the time you are doing your NMC CBT, you've already passed your eligibility tests with the NMC, Nursing and Midwifery Council in the UK. And you've already also passed the verification stage by the Nursing Council of Kenya. Nursing Council, we really appreciate the efforts you're making to ensure that this process goes as fast as you can, given the challenges that we are facing because of the COVID restrictions that are on and off. We really do appreciate the support you are giving to the nurses. And so by the time you're finishing your CBT, you are done with the Nursing Council, you are done with the, you are far ahead with NMC. So what we will do is we will align your CV and present it to the employers together with your NMC CBT pass proof and your IELTS certificate. They will get jobs for you and they will propose several jobs and in several locations. I believe you've seen in the various forums, people sharing between this hospital and this hospital, which one can I select? We are open, at Village, we are open like that. We allow you to go out there and reach out to the nurses who are already here so that by the time you're selecting a place, you have at least an idea of that, how that place is. Plus, I would also be happy if I come to the UK and meet other Kenyans. You know, as I've said, I really, once I step outside this door, me, I was brought on this side of Essex alone. At least Gertrude is like 1 hour away. Sometimes I go to her place to bother her. So, so once I step out, I would really be happy if I had a colleague from Kenya where we can like chat, acculturate together, you know, find our ways. So we allow for such, so that you are not lost. We are as open as that. So we allow you to share. So if you see those names of the hospitals floating around the social media, if you have an answer for them, please do. The websites to those hospitals are also open. Every package we discuss with you, please, nurses, I'm begging you. Probably you are coming from home, you have a lot of loans to clear back home. Please do not accept a package that is also on loan. It is not going to be easy. There are so many places that need nurses that offer relocation packages that are good. Please don't take anything on loan. You will find employers who will pay for your OSCEs. OSCE is the exam you do after you land here. It's a practical exam. After you pass it, then you get your licensing and the PIN. You will find an employer that will refund your NMC CBT. You will find an employer that will refund your IELTS exam fee. The current IELTS exam fee is around 27,670. Current CBT fee is £83, around 12K Kenya shillings. And they will refund that. Please pick a package that is not going to squeeze you. Like, let me translate directly. Finya you. To squeeze you. You are coming here to try and get better, so let it be better. So the packages the packages that you are looking at is they need to be like something that you are comfortable with. We are free to discuss those packages with you. Oh, and I forgot, we also need community health nurses. There are community jobs that are available as well. So if you have a CV, you have experience in community nursing. I'm a Kenyan registered community health nurse, so I still have a feeling that I qualify. Somebody can somebody can maybe correct me on that. But if you have experience in community nursing, please also reach out to us. We have vacancies for that. Once you get your interview and you pass your interview, you'll be given an offer letter. The offer letter will contain your salary, what you are going to get before your OSCEs and after your OSCEs. And then later they will also give you the package that I've just spoken about. You have to look into that. There is a small theoretical interview to do with the drug calculations that some employers put you through after the interview process. So those are just simple drug calculations that we do. You find yourself doing them during the shift. So it's not something that you should worry about, really. And then once all that is done, I think you need to start having those, they will send you a certificate of sponsorship. Remember, you are coming here on sponsorship visa, and it is your employer that is sponsoring you. So they'll send you a certificate of sponsorship that you will use to apply for your visa. There are tests that you'll do at IOM Gigiri, and it is just a simple chest X-ray, and it costs around, area is now 14,000. It went higher for a simple chest X-ray, you can imagine. So I don't want to comment much on that, but that is the test that you'll do. You'll get your visa, and your employer will pick you at the airport and take you to your place of quarantine. Unfortunately, COVID hit. Quarantine never used to exist in our vocabulary. We never knew it would be there, but COVID is there now. So you have to be quarantined in a hotel by your employer. They cater for your needs. They refund, they cater for the COVID test. I think you do 2 COVID tests here, once land in the UK. Then some employers will start virtually training you for your OSCE. It is also the responsibility of your employer. Look at that package, responsibility of your employer to get you through OSCE training. You have to prepare for OSCEs again. They book for you the exam. The exam centers are varied. So the employer will book for you that exam. You are here in the UK. Once you pass your OSCE, you are licensed. You work some trust or government hospitals or some facilities, they put you under supernumerary. Supernumerary period is simply you work under the supervision of a nurse who has already been there, so that you learn how they do things, the policies, the structure. Nursing is universal, but facilities, how they do things is a bit different. And in the UK, patient care is really important, and patient safety. Patient safety is key. So they will do anything possible to ensure that the patient is safe with Marceline. So by the time Marceline is starting, they are sure that Marceline is able to take care of these patients and no harm will befall Marceline or the patient or other caregivers or visitors, anybody who comes into contact with the patient that Marceline is handling. So care here is a bit different from Kenya. There's a lot of compassion. Every contact with the patient, you really have to introduce yourself. You just don't go and say, Pinduka, or I have to dunga you. You have to introduce yourself. My name is Marceline, and I have come to give you a medication now. Is it okay? You have to seek consent of the patient. You just don't do it. The patient might say no. They have a right to say no. You don't do it. You don't force. So you have to learn those things. And now you are in the UK. Once you're done with your quarantine, you test negative, you've done your OSCEs, you are under supernumerary, maybe 6 months, you start having your own patients. Then you start doing your bank shifts. That's another thing altogether. So just that in summary. I don't want to speak much because there are several other speakers behind me. And please, Catherine and Livingstone, you don't have much experience as yet. But Gertrude and Catherine can please, I would appreciate if, I don't mind any correction, if anything, there's anything that I've said that really doesn't suit how it is, because I don't like lying to these nurses. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marceline. I will, if we're in a big conference, I would be like, maybe we need to clap for Marceline, but now because it's online, we're a bit restricted to clapping. But thanks for that. So I'll be asking this question to probably all the presenters today. So Marceline, you're working in the UK, in Essex, probably you said there are no Kenyans. Okay, like you don't have the aspect of sociability until you go meet Gertrude in an hour's time. I mean, it's a sacrifice you're making. And I'm sure you're also running other things back home. Community responsibility stuff, you're doing a lot. So if you go back to when you were maybe 20 or whatever, like when you're transitioning from college, looking for a job, will you still, or okay, maybe when you're deciding to become a nurse, will you still make the same choice? And that's part one. Then the second part is, will you still, decide to go and work abroad? Like now, looking back.
Okay, I always tell the nurses, if I was born a nurse. Wow. I faced challenges when I started as a nurse, but those challenges made me who I am today, and I'm proud of who I am today. They say pride is bad, but this one I'm proud of, and I'm not I'm not going to say anything like aside that. If I was to be born again, I would still be a nurse. Nursing is a calling. It's all about compassionate care, and it's satisfying when you have the resources, when you have job satisfaction, when you have support. It is the most enjoyable career in life for me. Back home, I really struggled. The reason I journeyed overseas, I would still go overseas because unless there is better at home, I'm really a patriot. I love Kenya, but the patient's suffering, let alone my own suffering as a caregiver, I'm going to be honest with this. My own suffering as a caregiver aside, the patient's suffering is really bad. And I would really wish that things change back home. Resources are available, things like gloves, people are not sent to go and buy. You are not sent to go and buy your own medication. At least everybody, the things that you need to work should be there. The patient comfort should be there. People should not have sad faces because of finances. Here, and then the doctors need to tell people, talk to patients, give them the real picture as it is. Don't put me, this is about me. Don't put me through chemotherapy and I'm dying tomorrow. Please give me a chance to die peacefully, manage my pain, and allow me be with my family, choose my place of death. Patients have dignity, patients have rights, and this I can talk the whole night and the whole day, the difference. But to me, overseas, as at now, it is satisfying. I'm able to also help in the community back at home. I just didn't come and sit. I came also, I also came and back home, like just on Thursday, the other week, Thursday this week, I fed like 47 families because the UK journey, the UK is, I'm able to do that to make a change back home. So I don't forget Kenya. I am a Kenyan forever. I would love to be born again in Kenya if I'm to be born again. And I'll still pursue this journey. And Alfred, I would love to work with you. If anything, even the minimalist change, if we can impact the nursing in Kenya, even in the little bit, the least way possible, I don't mind. I just want the nurses, the caregivers, the patients, at least to have something to look to hang on to, the hope, even if there's no life, there's no like promise, like I'm going to live the next day, but I want my last days of life to be okay. And this experience has enabled me to learn a lot through that. And I believe we can have ways, create ways of doing the little we can, even if we don't rely on the government, to help people. Yeah. To make a change in the community. So thank you, Ronald, for that chance.
Good. Thanks, Maslin, for sharing that story. I think Mercy has spoken about two important things, which is living for others. Mercy is doing quite a number of things, for example, from where she comes from. And probably that's a good thing for nurses to also emulate. It's quite not after a pesa too, you know, but as well, when you get something, also you give back to the society, which is very interesting. Then something else you mentioned is being human, right? I mean, getting opportunities for others to go and work in the UK, doing things in the village, of course, many other things. So it's really good that we emulate, you know, such characters as nurses. And I'm sure Get will be speaking about this more, like, you know, how you can have mentors, and you don't necessarily, your mentor doesn't necessarily have to have 1 billion shillings for you to be a mentor, right? Even a small kid can become your mentor because she has good characters, she has good values and stuff. So thanks, Maslin, for sharing that story. So next, we are going to hear from Mr. President himself. And Mr. President, as you prepare yourself, I just have probably 2 or 3 questions. But the first question is, I mean, we all know that employment is a challenge. So maybe could you expound more and probably share more experiences, especially the key challenges that a Kenyan nurse face? Because I mean, some of us have just been hearing on media, but you are the frontline worker, for example, working to fight pandemics, you know, working to save lives. You are the people who are doing a lot to you know, to help you know, like ladies deliver safely. It's a very noble thing that nurses are doing. Plus, of course, many other things that nurses do. So, from a Kenyan perspective, what would you rate to be the key, like the top 5 challenges that a nurse in Kenya is facing?
Oh, thank you.
Good.
Thank you. I salute you, Ronald. Also, I salute, I know as Amolo, you call her Maslin. I salute Joyce. I salute Catherine Maynard, whom actually I call her the diaspora ambassador of NNK in terms of there's very nice articles that she's written which have inspired our people back. I salute also all Kenyan nurses and others who joined us through for this webinar. And I also want to identify with all the challenges that we are going through as of now. They are not easy, big challenges. One, I want to say that from the outset is that we appreciate the training institutions, both mid-level and higher level training institutions within Kenya that have managed to produce high-class global nurses that actually can work with any part of the world. Because I've attended conferences internationally, and I know the respect that the global community accord the Kenyan nurses. We are top notch. I can say that, and I can attest to that. And on that, I really applaud the Kenyan nurses. And that, having said that, it's very unfortunately, very unfortunate, very sad that just as like they say, there's that famous quote that a prophet is never recognized at home.
Yeah.
Is that sadly is that this high caliber of nurses are not appreciated at home. It's a very sad scenario, and I can say that with a lot of confidence, without any fear of contradiction. And that's why from where I sit, I want to say that we as NNAK, National Nurse Association of Kenya, we encourage and we will still support our nurses probably venturing and getting more opportunities globally so that they can earn a better living than they're doing back home where we are not really appreciated. Having said that, I want to give you a short story of probably what I personally and on behalf of National Nurse Association of Kenya went through during the COVID period, just to understand the kind of challenge that our nurses are going through. When the first patient was pronounced by the CS, Minister of Health, that is Honorable Mutahi Kagwe, that should be last year, should have been March 13th. I still remember very well. We as Kenyan nurse leaders, we were very worried because we are also watching the trend globally. We knew, personally, I knew that we're gonna have nurses who are gonna be infected, and unfortunately, we also knew that we're gonna have also nurses and the midwives who are gonna lose their lives because we are part of the global community. But now, what we wanted to ensure was that even if that happens, it should happen on a platform that we did our best. It should find out in a situation whereby we say, I wish you could have done this. But as a professional association, you know, we don't have the resources. So it was upon us to mobilize resources through our partners. And I can very happy to tell you that for now, as NNAK, through our partners, we've mobilized resources, and especially for the purchase of protective personal gears to a tune of 300,000 shillings. That should be about $3,000 to purchase PPE so that our nurses can be protected. And we've also managed to offer training and also psychosocial support. That is not enough.
Yeah.
That is not enough. Because what we are doing is just filling the gap that the government should have done. And that's what I'm saying. During this COVID pandemic period, it has even demonstrated, it is all over, that as a nurse in Kenya, probably you find yourself in a situation whereby you are on your own in terms of the risk involved. So that's why I'm saying, if there are better opportunities outside there, one that can offer better conditions and service, in terms of employment is concerned, that can offer better protection, can offer you a better pay. As NNAK, we will not actually suppress that. We shall encourage that. And I've been approached personally by several agencies, but what I usually ensure is that we also don't subject the nurse and the midwife of Kenya through a process that at the end of the day, probably you'll find some people, the results are not met.
Yeah.
And this, yes, and you know what I'm talking about, Ronald.
Sure.
So if you people are genuine, you want to help Kenyan nurses to gain employment, where we have better terms, where they're more appreciated. As National Nurse Association of Kenya, we are ready to support you and we're ready to work with you. These are conversations that I've had with none other than the CS Minister of Health, that's Mutahi Kagwe. Yes. And there is a joint effort. I've had Marceline talking about the Middle East, Europe. There's a joint effort to ensure that as we open opportunities for nurses to work, Kenyan nurses to work outside this country, they must have a dignified employment terms. And I'm happy that your group has mentioned that, because we don't want to create another problem in the process of solving another problem. Our nurses are really suffering in Kenya, so we will wish that when they go out, that we don't subject them to more suffering and they don't feel like probably in the process what was promised is not what they're getting. But as all our opening remarks is that there are challenges everywhere. We must accept that there are challenges everywhere, but it's obvious also that there are areas that at least the challenges are manageable. But you have a situation whereby you are living in an environment where your challenges offers you no solution and no hope in terms of your career development is concerned. So having said that, I don't want to take so much time, but I want to say that we are ready to support your program. We are ready to also educate our nurses in terms of opening up more opportunities for them, because you'll find that as per the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, it's about, I can say, about 5 to 10 billion Kenya shillings that is being returned home every month from the Kenyans who are working diaspora. And I want to believe that a big chunk of that money is coming from nurses.
We probably need to find out.
We need to find out.
It might be even 60% or 70%.
Yes,
of that money,
sure. That means that we're actually building the Kenyan economy, and we need to leverage on that. If only we can come together. Lastly, and last comment, but we are still together. I'll still be able to converse with you. Is that I want to implore the nurses, Kenyan nurses and midwives who are in the diaspora. And I still encourage more to go there because you don't need to be suffering in an environment and you know there's a better opportunity somewhere. Sure. I want to give you an idea. And this I've discussed with the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce. If you can form a diaspora group outside there, whether you're in the UK, whether in the US, whether you're in whichever part of Europe, so that this money that is coming back to Kenya, we can quantify it in a way that can give you better economic results. Today, we are the housing pillar. The housing component is part of the 4 points agenda of the government. The government is building houses. If the nurses in diaspora could put together their resources, we can find a way where we can, I mean, why can't we even build 1,000 units of 2-bedroom houses? So these are things that probably you need also to consider as we move forward. But the long and short is that we support any opportunities offered to the Kenyan nurses. And Kenyan nurses are brilliant, they're skillful, they're competent, they're disciplined. What they lack, it is just opportunities and proper governance within the healthcare system. As I speak as a NCK board member, we are losing, I can say, around probably an average of 100 nurses per month in Kenya. Yes, we are getting more or less like 200 applications for people who want to travel, but probably not all of them get are accorded that opportunity, probably half. So about 100 nurses per month from Kenya. As I'm speaking to you, we have about, within our records, about 65,000 nurses trained whom we can track. Out of that 65,000, we have 20,000 within the public sector. And we know the public sector is treating nurses. We've just come from industrial action, which, I mean, we all know what happened, just begging for asking for a bigger raise in our risk allowance, which have been implemented in other countries in Africa, not even Europe, Ghana, South Africa, Botswana. They raise their risk allowance for their frontline health workers. In Kenya, it can't happen. So we have 20,000 nurses in the public sector, 10,000 within the faith-based and private sector. That brings us to about 30,000 in formal employment. How many did I say we have? 65,000. So we have about a half of well-trained nurses who are nowhere, somewhere. And on top of that, we are producing 10,000 nurses from our middle level and training schools annually to the labor market.
Wow.
That is why this program is very important, because I'm very sure, having mingled with the global community, that UK still needs nurses, US still needs nurses, many more nurses. So I think these are just a starting point. And let us not look at this webinar as an issue of just a talk shop or things like it.
Yeah.
Can change people's lives. It can change people's lives. I've seen Amolo saying that talking about her family back home. Even you, yes. Most of you are my friends in Facebook. I've seen the support you send back home. I've seen the support that Kate Mimi sends back home to our family members who are probably not well. So these are things that we need to consolidate and build on, so that we can invest more to assist ourselves. I'm very sorry if I bored you.
Not for sure.
Not at all.
But I want to leave it at that for now. Thank you so much. And I want to still say that I'm very, very proud of the Kenyan nurse.
Wow.
Both within Kenya and globally. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thanks, Mr. President, for that very, I don't know, is it very inspirational, insightful, and real conversation, I will say. So just to probably update you, I think, was it a month or 2 months ago? Because especially for countries like the UK, so there is a WHO code for international recruitment of nurses or healthcare workers. And that, like, you know, healthcare standards that a country has to meet for it to kind of export its labor, like to export its, you know, healthcare workers and the rest. So countries had been categorized like on a red list and a green list, not the COVID one, but there's a WHO country classification where, you know, if you, for example, you have less training institutions or less students being, less like nurses being churned out from the nursing institutions, and you have a huge burden of health to take care of. So countries are not being allowed, you know, to be able to export, like allow the nurses to go and work abroad, especially in the UK. But I think around December, January there, because they realized we are living in very challenging times and different times considered to when probably that policy was set up a couple of years ago. So WHO changed the policy, and now nurses in Kenya, it's actually like the way you said, it's up to them to decide. Because I mean, the way you said also unemployment might be a big issue because the national average stands at around 40%, but you said, you know, around 30,000 once you can track out of approximately 65,000 are employed. So that's more than half. The unemployment rate is quite high for the nurses in Kenya. And of course, probably that's why we're having this kind of conversations. And also to echo your words, Mr. President, we had a discussion last week with one of the employers in the UK. And the first comment was, Kenyan nurses are the best. Right or wrong, Maslin?
Actually, just last week, I was like, I have some, I was talking to one of the recruiters and I'm like, I have nurses from West Africa. You've not been asking me for any nurses from the other parts of Africa, just Kenyan nurses. And then he just said, But Kenyan nurses are just great. They are good people. When they come here, like, you have a good reputation. I love the training. I just want to be a Kenyan. I can't change that. I can't change that. You make the best nurses, and these people recognize that. In every community, people will always recognize who is giving them a challenge, who is not. Kenyan nurses come in, they are culturate, they do their thing. There's no motion at work. They just get into it and do it and just get off. And that is what these people want. And no harm to the patient, nothing. So these people really value Kenyan nurses. And they told me, Maslin, right now India is locked. That is where we've been getting our nurses. And the Philippines is also locked. So it is Kenya for now. Take advantage of that. So Kenyan nurses, when you hear me looking for you for these positions, please, as Alfred has said, please, by all means, if you can, join us. I would really be happy. We are meeting some of us in London on this weekend. I really can't wait for that, like, reunion. Kiswahili, Kijaluo, Kikisi. I'll just pretend that I get every language. That's it. It's just exciting like that. So let's come here, Muslim. Let's work, let's create something for back home. Alfred, we are going to do it. We'll keep in touch with you. And I know Gertrude and Catherine will support me in this. We are going to do something about that. We'll put our heads together and we are going to try to impact in any way possible. Thank you.
Thanks, because one of the ideas the way Mr. President said, if you nurses in the diaspora can pull together, then you can as well be able to lower that rate, unemployment rate for the guys, for our colleagues back home, right? Good. So, I mean, thanks for the insightful comments, everyone. So far, so good. I'd love to introduce our next speaker, but before I introduce her, I think you probably need to get your coffee, your maji, your tea, and in a minute we'll be taking over from Gertrude will be taking the floor to share more about why you need a mentor and many other aspects about nursing. So thank you. You can unmute yourself and probably breathe for a minute. Then you can proceed from there. I can see a hand from Griffin. Griffin, are you there? Maybe we want to ask a question before we proceed. Griffin. Okay, thanks. So I'm sure you've had some breath. Griffin, are you there? Maybe unmute Griffin so that he can ask his question before we proceed. Griffin. Okay, let's proceed. Gertrude.
Yeah. Hello. Sorry, before Gertrude comes in, can I?
Yeah, you have 30 seconds to ask your question, sir. Yeah. We are kind of behind schedule.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'm very grateful for this. And my question goes to the president before he leaves. He's a board member to the Nursing Council, and yes. I don't know whether this will be a challenge. I want to request him if he can talk to the Nursing Council administration so that whenever they get these applications for the nurses who want to go to abroad, they can be able to fasten the process, because sometimes we get frustrations from the Nursing Council. Maybe can you talk about the challenges which we're getting when we're trying to apply for
certification, not certification per se, for verification of documents. Thank you.
Is Mr. President there?
Yeah, sorry, Ronald.
Okay, no worries.
I was on a call. Could you just probably brief me? What was it?
So Griffin is asking, like they applied for nursing council verification, but sometimes it takes long. So he was just asking whether in any way you happen, he says you happen to be a board member there. So is it possible in any way you kind of introduce any structural changes so that, you know, it can be fastened if possible?
Like I said during my brief, is that
Yes.
we would wish to encourage our Kenyan nurses and midwives, and even open more opportunities for them, given the situation we're having at home. And we will also wish that they fit, we produce tests that meet the standards of the global market. But two, specifically to the question that is asked, if I could have evidence of the same as to probably the prolonged period that it's taking to verify and to ascertain or to validate or probably their certification or their qualification, and how it's affecting their the process of any individual or collective nurses to probably join or join the global labor market.
Yes,
I think that one can be looked at and positively, and we can develop a system where we can expedite the process so that we don't really prolong it for no good reason, for no logical reason. I mean, for us, we wish to create a situation, I mean, if I speak for myself, whereby we wish to lessen the bottlenecks that could be there, or the barriers that could be there, that probably makes it difficult for our nurses to get greener pastures. That should not be our duty. We should be make it even much easier for our people to go to greener pastures. So if there's, I'll just ask for that evidence, and I can promise my colleague who has asked that question that we shall act on it.
Thank you, Mr. President. I mean, of course, on behalf of, we have more than 110 people here and more than 50 people on Facebook. So that's a good sample to say we appreciate that you've promised that. So we'll probably take it up from there. Then, so our next speaker is Gertrude. I'm sure you've heard of Gertrude before. She's running an amazing platform called World Class Nurse on Facebook, on YouTube, and I think you also have a fantastic website. Yeah. So karibu sana Gertrude, talk to us a bit on why nurses should have, relevant people in their lives to act as mentors, especially for guidance purposes. So thanks and welcome, Gertrude.
Okay, thank you very much, Ronald, for this opportunity. Thank you, Maslin. I don't know how I'm going to follow the speakers who've just finished talking. I kind of feel like this webinar should be disbanded and everyone can go home at this point. But I am still excited to speak to nurses. I think any opportunity to have a conversation that will improve our lives should not be taken for granted. So I want to thank you for that. I think I'm really, really inspired by what the president has said. A few weeks back, I saw a post on LinkedIn where the nurses in the US were saying, doctors come up all the time to start hospitals. Why can't nurses also have the same, same sort of thinking, same sort of unity? Nurses can come together and say, we tell you what, we're going to start this nursing home, we're going to start this hospital, because truth be told, as nurses, we run the healthcare system. 90% of healthcare, the main work of healthcare revolves around nursing. So I'm really, really inspired by that. And now getting to my talk on today's topic, the topic for the webinar is the UK pathway in the face of COVID-19. And when Marceline shared this with me, I think the first thing that came to my mind was resilience. And I feel like this is something we really need to talk about at this time, given the advent of COVID last year. Life has just turned upside down, plans we had, holidays that were planned, moves that were being made, everything just came to a standstill. So I feel like I need to talk about resilience. And just to briefly define resilience, it's just having that toughness, for lack of a better word, the ability to bounce back when you go through a challenge, the ability to adapt to different situations. So part of my message as world-class nurse is just to let people know that even as you come to the UK, it is not the answer to all your problems. It is not the solution to all your problems. Marceline said that it's better over here, but it's not perfect. So you're still going to face these challenges. So for me, I like sharing that aspect of it as well. I think 2 weeks back, I did a blog post on the first few months of me being in the UK, and everyone was like, oh my God, I passed through this as well. I passed through this as well. So my message to you today who is listening is just to let you know that the journey is not going to be easy, starting from the time you make the decision. Even when you make the decision, you're going to get colleagues who are going to tell you, it's not all that good. You're not going to save anything. The bills are so expensive in the UK. You don't need to go. You're going to get all these discouragements. But now that is where resilience comes in. Are you able to bounce back? Are you able to face these challenges? COVID happened, some people had already passed their Ielts, they had already done CBT, then COVID happened, the NHS was so focused on fighting COVID, they didn't have time for international recruitment. People underwent stress at that time. So if you're resilient enough, you're able to, step back and think, okay, COVID has happened, I can't leave the country, so what's my next move? What am I going to do in the meantime? And I think for me, that is my message today, just to cultivate that resilience despite the challenges. You may do IELTS the first time and you fail reading. You've passed writing, which is considered the toughest. You've passed listening. Listening, maybe you have even a 9. Then you fail reading. And with IELTS, you have to repeat the entire thing. And now you're thinking, I don't even have money to start again. I've already spent money on the training. What am I going to do? So resilience gives you that ability to step back and think, okay, these are my options. If I save for 2 months, then I can raise that money to pay for another IELTS exam. I can talk to my agency and have them, the marathon classes they were talking about. I can go back and do that for 3 weeks, is it? And find a way to make it work. So I just want to share with you 3 ways of cultivating that resilience despite every challenge you meet. I think last week a friend of mine, she was meant to come into the country. She'd done everything. She has the visa, she's done everything. And then when she was just about to board the aeroplane, they told her, your visa has expired. You can't travel tonight. She has already said goodbye to the family at the airport. You know how it's a drama, the whole family is there, people are happy, they've already told you goodbye. And then she's told you can't travel, your visa has expired. So she's thinking, okay, I can't go back home. I've already told everyone I've left. Where do I start from? So these are those unexpected challenges that are going to hit you along the way. even when you get to the UK, you're still going to experience so many bumps. So I just want to share with you 3 ways through which you can cultivate that ability to just cope with any challenge that you come across. And the first one is having self-compassion. You need to be able to appreciate the effort you've made as a person, you know. Don't be hard on yourself all the time. You've done IELTS, you've failed. I mean, people fail exams. So just understand that maybe it's reading that failed me, it's writing, my writing is not all that good. So understand that it has happened and it's okay to fail. We can't win all the time. We can't pass all exams. And then give yourself room to adjust, find other means, you know, just chart another way of making it work. If it is reading that failed you in IELTS, find a way of practicing, look for different material, you know, dedicate your time to it. So have that self-compassion that even if you fail, you are not too hard on yourself, because the moment you're hard on yourself, you may stay down there. You may never find that ability to rise again. Maybe it's finances you're lacking, or something else that has come to my mind, another challenge that people face, because I've had someone tell me that I want to go abroad, but I've not told my husband. And then when you go and tell your husband, and your husband is like, me, I don't want to leave Kenya. And you know, the children are ours. So me, I don't want my children to leave Kenya. And you've already started the process. So these challenges are going to come from left, right, and center. So just be easy on yourself. Don't be tough on yourself. Appreciate your vulnerabilities, appreciate your strengths and weaknesses, and use your strength to help you bounce back when you face a challenge. Another thing that I'm always preaching about is self-care. When it gets too tough, just take a step back. You are not in a race with anyone. You're running your own race. I think that's where some of us lose it at time, when you start running somebody else's race. I mean, the people like Amolo, the people like Catherine, they've been here for now almost 2 years. I've been here, I think, for 1 year, 6 months. The things they know are things I don't know. So if I start comparing myself to them, I'm going to lose it. So don't be in a race with anyone. Run your own race. And when you feel it's too much, step back. When you're feeling frustrated, the money is not coming in, demands are happening, your loan is overdue. Like I know nurses face a lot of challenges. You're looking for references. The referee that is supposed to send the email is just taking you, mixing you up, not coming through. Just take a step back, breathe, do self-care how you know how. Some people will, you know, dance. Some people will go for, will exercise. For me, my self-care revolves around sleeping a lot. So do self-care in how you know best. Just take that time to breathe, and then weigh your options, and then come back and start doing the applications. Come back and start talking to different people about what it is that you're going through. And the final step of just developing that resilience in your journey, whether it is to the UK or to the US, is mentorship or coaching. And that is something that I talk about every time. If you've seen most of my videos, or even my main business as world-class nurse is about mentorship. And mentorship, it doesn't have to be direct. Mentorship can be indirect. Maybe you just admire a particular nurse, you know, you just need to go and follow them, see how they are doing their things. We live in a world where social media has made information to be very accessible. So many nurses are sharing what they do, you know, from my routine when I wake up, to my work day, to what I eat at work, you know. So these are people that you can just go and follow online and just understand how the journey has been. There are people, YouTubers like Nisi, who is sharing different aspects of the UK, you know, making decisions here and there, how to do IELTS. Like, the information is endless. So that is like indirect mentorship. You can reach out to people in their inboxes. Like, I mean, if you send me a message on Facebook or wherever and ask me details on how I did this, honestly, I'm not going to ignore you. I always take my time to reply to all these messages. I know you can talk to Amolo, you can talk to different other people. So having a mentor is not about labels, you know. I think most of the time we think, for me to have a mentor, it's labeled that Gertrude is my mentor, then it works. You can have a mentor who you know is your mentor. They may not know that they're mentoring you, but you know, this and this is what I'm learning from this person. And then the other option is now having the mentor with the label, like myself. So you find the mentor and you work on your terms of agreement, and then they're just going to guide you through, talk to you through the process, you know, answer your question, help you with networking, you know, different information. And yeah, it makes your work easy because you have someone who you can always talk to. And I think, like Amolo said, as Relage, they offer that as well. They offer you that opportunity to ask questions, to share your frustrations whenever you're trying to process different things in the journey. Like when NCK, you know, even me, my experience with NCK was not very good. When I went there, oh my God, you're just thinking, did I offend someone in this office? Everyone is just sit there and wait. You're waiting, you go again, excuse me, it's been 5. No, like you're wondering, did I wrong someone? So if you have people who you can share this with, it will help you to build your resilience. So I'm not going to talk much because I believe I've said enough. I'm just going to encourage you and to tell you that for me as well, like Marceline said, given the chance, I'll still make this decision I made, because it was so hard to leave Kenya. It was so hard for me to leave. Like I don't like going out of my comfort zone. So for me, Kenya was home, Kenya was everything. But after walking around in Nairobi looking for work, I don't know for how long, volunteering, doing work, you're underpaid, you're not being paid, I just decided this is now about me as a person. So I don't regret this. I'm encouraging you, if you've not made the decision, take your time. Just start the process. If you're in the process and you're feeling discouraged today, keep going. You have it in you. As a nurse, you're resilient. I mean, nurses, we see so much suffering. I think part of it just comes naturally. You have that ability within you. So if you're doubting yourself out there, you're thinking maybe my English is not good enough, you never know until you try. So yeah, and once again, thank you, Ronald, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Gertrude. Yeah. Lazima tupige makofi. Thanks for that. I mean, resilience is good for a nurse. Knowing what you want probably is also good, right? Like keeping your eyes focused on the goal.
Yeah,
it's also important, because that's what keeps many people from leaving Kenya, because they're like, okay, I have this job, probably a very nice job anyway, but it's not equivalent to what is offered in the UK. I have this job, I have this, so I'm not moving out. That's fine. Because you're in your comfort zone. But when you probably leave the country, then you kind of automatically you start getting, challenging yourself more. So
Ronald, one more thing I forgot.
I
forgot to mention. Please follow me on Facebook on World Class Nurse. Thank you. I forgot to plug myself. Please, I have a website called World Class Nurse, and also I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well as World Class Nurse. So yeah.
And you post very important stuff there.
Yeah.
All about life.
Yeah.
Which is important. Yeah. So thanks.
There's one thing that there's one thing that Gertrude has not mentioned.
Yes.
That together with Irene, Ogongo, they have a program in Kenya to mentor nurses.
Wow.
And midwives, and both at the nurses, we call them the novice nurses, the ones that just left college.
Yes.
And then we want also to mentor nurse managers within the clinical environment. And you also want to mentor nurse leaders outside the clinical environment. That is something that we are doing with Irene and Gertrude. And I think it's something that we can also expand to involve other partners, because there's nothing as important as mentorship, so far as our profession is concerned.
Yes.
And our young nurses are getting to the job market without any clue of what is expected of them. They get lost in the first 5 years. not knowing that we have Ronald somewhere who can assist them. We have Gertrude somewhere who can assist them. We can have Marceline, we have Kate somewhere. So they don't know these things. So, and they can only know about these opportunities if they get the right mentorship, not to suppress them, but to uplift them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I mean, I'm forgetting to say the important bits. Yeah, the program is actually
that's
the program,
right?
Yeah, the program is up and running actually, and I am constantly challenged by these nurses. Like, nurses are so creative, they're so innovative, and I'm lost for words. So, and I also want to applaud the president for this, because were it not his leadership of being all inclusive and giving all of us the opportunity, I wouldn't have had that chance. So I want to thank NNK and the leadership of Mr. Obengo for that. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Gertrude and Mr. President for that. That's very interesting. So just the way Gertrude mentioned, we also have a Facebook page, you know, as you like, World Class Nurse, passed by Village. Just whoever has maybe followers, maybe like. We also have WhatsApp groups, many of them. Join one of them so that you can be encouraged. You say you don't have to be, maybe you're processing now. You might be processing from December, but when you stay, like, I don't know how to express it. Like, when you stay where everyone is processing, you start processing by, is it association or assimilation? Like, you also get the psyche to start doing your things. But when you start, associating with people who are like Kenya ni nyumbani, which is fantastic, and they are comfortable and they are okay with the status quo, and they are okay with, many problems, then definitely pia utakuwa tu hapo. So that's interesting. So our next speaker is, just like Gertrude, also running a very, very important, I don't want to disclose a lot. She will disclose a lot about it. But welcome, Kate Mimi, right? Yeah, welcome, Catherine. And of course, as you come on board, many people have been sharing about UK, but have not been very specific. So just tell us more about like how nursing is in the UK. How is your experience? Generally, how do you compare? If you can manage, compare, nursing in the UK and Kenya, and generally,
Thank you so much, Ronald, and thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Real Edge, for such a beautiful platform for myself and others like me to be here and share a word or two, not only to nurses, but other healthcare professionals and people who are not nurses, people who are following, especially on my Facebook wall. That's Kate Mimi on Facebook. I'm very appreciative. I call them Team Phoenix, people who read what I write. I am Catherine Maynard. That's what the government of Kenya knows, and that is what the UK government is aware of. But when I started writing, and when I started writing officially, that was back in 2017. I went by Kate Mimi. That's my pen name. So I write under the handle Kate Mimi. I am on Twitter, Facebook, especially Facebook, and I run a website just like Gertrude. That's www.katemimi.com. You'll find a lot of things that I write. Now, my audience is not only nurses, and that's why, maybe that's what the difference between my writing style and Gertrude's. My target audience is the common mwananchi, the Kenyan who does not have any medical background, and as well as nurses. So if I can help a nurse along this way, then so be it. So when Amolo talked to me, she asked me to talk about the UK acting as a better platform for bigger and much more when it comes to the journey of nursing. But allow me, Ronald, to talk to each and every nurse, each and every healthcare professional, even before I get to the UK. Now, you people, you are in this profession of healthcare, especially nurses, not just because it's a call, like Amolo said, but because it is a profession. I want you to understand that nursing is a profession. It is a worthy profession. It is a noble profession. It is a profession just like any other. We have a very strong theoretical foundation as well as recognized practical hours. I do not want you to subscribe to the panic porn. That's why I call it panic porn, where nursing is degraded. Nursing is seen like an extension of medicine. Nursing is seen as being subordinate to all other healthcare professionals. No, I want you to normalize wearing that crown and knowing that you are a nurse and act like one. Sawa sawa. You're not an extension to anything. You are a standardized profession by yourself. So even before you think about coming to the UK, can you make nursing work for you? If you're in Kenya, what are you doing as a nurse that can bring a difference to not only yourself, but to the profession? What are you doing? You are a Kenya registered community health nurse, maybe a registered midwife, maybe just a registered nurse from some of our training institutions. What difference are you making? If you sit back and wait for you to get out of Kenya for you to make a difference, then you have it twisted. You need to learn how to make things work for you wherever you are. And if they are not going to work for you, then welcome to the UK. The beauty about the United Kingdom, and this is where maybe I go into the heart of the matter, is that UK, unlike other Western nations, has so many specialties for their nurses. I cannot even enumerate all of them. There are very many. I'll give you a short experience, like a snippet of what I have been through myself. I am a registered nephrology nurse from Kenya. So when I came to the UK, I came and worked in a care home. Amolo was actually my CBT classmate. we did CBT together with her, and she complained that I finished CBT in yes, you can hear that laugh. Okay, to me CBT is just too easy. Okay, it's too easy. NMC, make it a little bit difficult. Tafadhali.
You scared the shit out of me.
No, it's just too easy. It was too easy for me, and it was 2 hours, but I did it, I think, in 20 minutes, and I was like, I think I got something wrong here. Anyway, the thing is, when I came and worked in a care home, I knew that I wanted to be in a renal unit, because when you are a renal nurse, there is nothing else you want to do apart from renal nursing. I don't know about other renal nurses, but the moment I landed at Kenyatta National Hospital School of Nursing, the lecturers there instilled something in me that I don't know, I cannot even explain about it. So I knew that being in a care home is just a platform for me to be able to go to the hospital setup. So I was able to transition from the care home setup to the renal unit, where I work in a dialysis department. So this is just one area. Now, within the renal unit, in Kenya, we train nurses to become well-rounded people. In the UK, they have sliced down each and every specialty into subspecialties. For example, if I am a renal nurse, I can become a vascular access nurse, whereby I deal with vascular access. I can become a conservative care nurse. I can become an anemia nurse. I can become just a dialysis nurse. I can become a peritoneal dialysis nurse. And this is what I want you to learn. There are other specialties. Think about cancer, for example. There is a breast cancer nurse. There is a lymphoma nurse. There is a leukemia nurse. There is a, anything you can think about the body. The UK has subspecialties within it. I understand for each and every person listening that initially what I'm saying might look like a hearty haze with strange decor, but the thing is, if you look at it keenly, if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to listen, if you're willing to look out, reach out to people who are able to help you, then you're going to be in a position to achieve your dreams. There is something, when I was talking with the other agency last week, there is something that I challenge nurses to do. Have a goal. Why do you want to leave Kenya? That's a question that each and every person who contacts me in my inbox, I ask, why are you leaving the country? Are you sure you want to come to the UK? Why not the US? Why not Australia? Why are you coming to the UK? Why are you leaving Kenya? Please listen. Remember what Gertrude said, that we lose it when we start running other people's races. And believe you me, you might come to the UK and become very disoriented. Have a goal. Why are you leaving? Are you sure that you're leaving because of that goal? Then break it down. It is IELTS that I need to pass. So can you pass IELTS? You're done with IELTS. What next do I need to do? So once you have those goals, then you're able to come over here and you're able to achieve each and everything that you have planned. Now, Ronald, I would want to talk to each and every BSN nurse in Kenya. BSN are, now this is for the sake of my audience, BSN nurses are nurses who are trained straight from high school to a degree. Myself, I went for a diploma, but there are those people who finished high school and then they just went straight for a degree in nursing, which I encourage everyone to do, but that is a conversation for another day. Now, you have been complaining that there are no job opportunities in Kenya, and I understand, okay? I understand that the current market in Kenya is more tilted towards diploma and certificate holder nurses. I understand that, okay? Please, let's accept that that is how it is. Even if I was an employer, I would probably want to employ a diploma nurse who I can pay lesser than you, who is a degree holder and who might ask me for more, which will be which will be equal to the level of education. Sawa sawa. That is just how the market applies. You know, that is just how the market works. But I'm telling you, the UK is giving you an opportunity for you to do better. With your degree, apply to come to the UK. When you come here, you can work for example, in the acute medical unit. Is that what you call it, AMU? Yeah, acute medical unit. That is like a general medical ward back home. That's what I would equate it to. And then can you identify your specialty? I am not saying that you train as a specialized nurse in Kenya. I'm not asking you to go back and study a diploma like I have, you know, a higher national diploma like Kate. I'm not asking you to go back to school for a master's. No, I'm telling you, with your BSN qualification, come to the UK, get you to the hospital, identify as fast as possible what ticks for you, what do you want to do, then ask your employer that you want to go to that department. Remember, I've told you that the UK has specialty in everything, by the way, including sleep medicine. There are nurses who specialize in everything to do with sleeping. Yes, it is that interesting. This country is just a slice of heaven. Now, once you have identified what you want to do, go to that particular unit. For example, think about the field of surgery. When you think about surgery, in Kenya, you might just think surgery is surgery, but in the UK, we have orthopedic surgery, we have vascular surgery, we have any type of surgery that you can think about. I will take vascular surgery, for example. That is anything to do with veins. Sinisawa, let's just say veins. So go to that unit. Now, the beauty about NHS hospitals or private hospitals or just any setup is that they train you. Sawa, they sponsor you for those particular short courses. So do not kill yourself trying to get a higher diploma in Kenya. Come over to the UK with your BSN qualification. Get that short course because you will get it. Believe you me, you will get it. Once you do it, then look out for opportunities because they will. The interesting thing about this place, I don't know about the US or other countries, but they will advertise and it will be so nice that it will be exactly what you have been trained in, okay? So that will give you an edge because today, now that, okay, well, I am a student of Bachelor of Science in Nursing at the University of Derby as I'm working. But if I was to apply for a job today, for example, as a band 7 or a band 6, the person with a degree will have an edge over me because in the UK, papers matter. Let nobody lie to you. Papers matter here. Higher education matters. The more educated you are, the better your chances they become. So somebody will have an edge over me. They will have an advantage compared to myself who does not have a degree yet. So we have a friend of ours, Amolo is aware of him, who did the exact same thing. And today he's a church nurse. Come on, what are you telling me? That you're in Kenya complaining that your BSN is useless? Come on, come over here. And you will be amazed at the things that you're going to do. You will just be blown out of your mind. So that is one thing that I would want you to note, especially BSN nurses in Kenya. So the other thing that I can say is that UK will form as a basis for other countries that you may want to go to. Now, one reason why people leave Kenya is money. Tusidanganyane, let's say it's money. Everyone wants money. You have black tax. I wrote about this a while ago and I talked about black tax, and so many nurses identified with this. People are like, oh yeah, by the way, I want money because my mom is looking up to me, my sisters, my brothers, everyone wants a piece of my money. So when you think about black tax, and maybe you might think that UK is not paying as well as you expected, because sometimes it may not, and that will be my third point. So you can think about going to other countries. Now, Australia, and nurses who are in Australia, I'm giving you a challenge. Can you tell us more about Australia? But msijali, tutakuja hata huko na tutaongea. So tell us more about Australia. But now this is what is happening. Australia has a bridging program when it comes to internationally qualified nurses and midwives. But, and this is a but, if you have a degree, I don't know where you have acquired it from, you can go to Australia through New Zealand, okay? And that process will take you a maximum of about 8 months, depending on how fast your papers are verified. Now, New Zealand will exempt you from Ielts. I hope somebody is listening. New Zealand will exempt you from taking Ielts if you have worked for at least a year in the UK. I don't know whether you want to repeat that English exam again. I honestly do not plan to. So you will be exempted. That's number one. Number two, they really recognize your experience in the UK. It is transferable, and it will form part of the salary scale that they are going to give you in New Zealand. New Zealand, you can qualify and get the registration as a nurse while still in the UK. I don't know whether I'm making sense. So you have left Kenya, you've come to the UK. As you continue to work, probably in 1 year's time, I advise you in about 1 year's time, you apply for New Zealand registration. You will get your registration, you will have it, and you do not need to travel to New Zealand for you to work, okay? Once you have that registration, there is a program, it's called the Tasmanian Agreement or something between New Zealand and Australia, whereby nurses qualified in New Zealand can work in Australia. So this is how it works. You have your nursing registration in New Zealand, but you're still working in the UK. You can apply, you can apply to the registration body in Australia to register you as a nurse in Australia who comes from New Zealand. I don't know. One of my my things is teaching. So right now I'm thinking I'm talking to a class and I'm like, am I losing them? So let me say that again. You come from Kenya, you have your degree, or perhaps like me, you come to the UK and then you get your degree, okay? So your plan is to go to Australia, but Australia today is asking you to do an IELTS exam, that's the English exam, and Australia asked you to get 7 in all the 7 components. They want 7, 7, 7, 7, and you guys know it's not easy, okay? They also want you to do an OSCE exam, that is a practical exam, and by the way, they want you to do an NCLEX exam. Australia has made it very difficult for us to immigrate there if you're going to work, but if you're going to study, it is easier, but then again, it is more expensive in terms of the school fees. We agree that, sawa. So here you are in the UK, you have your degree. So apply to become a nurse in New Zealand while still in the UK, continue working. Then once you have that qualification for New Zealand, apply to be endorsed in Australia. And that is how you leave the UK to Australia. Honestly, I don't know how else I can break it down. I don't know, because I feel like I've given it my all. That is how you do it. The other thing is about USA. When you are in the UK, it is so easy for you to buy your own revision material for NCLEX, because I know NCLEX is one of the exams that really terrify nurses, even nurses who are trained and that are qualified in the US. They also get very terrified by NCLEX. When you're in the UK, you're in a better position to study for your NCLEX. Why do I say this? The standards of care in the UK are equal to the ones in the US. The kind of tests that you will be learning in your NCLEX, you can see them practically in a UK hospital. When they are talking about interpretation of blood gases and all that, if you have been working in a dispensary in Kenya, When you're looking at it in the NCLEX, it might not make sense. But if you're in the UK working in a high-class hospital, because here all hospitals are amazing, then you're going to be in a position to answer those NCLEX exams. When NCLEX, you know, when you're revising for NCLEX and see something that needed to be done, when you go to the ward, you'll be able to see it and you'll be able to apply it in your NCLEX. I hope I'm communicating to somebody. And then the other thing is, you do not need to travel to South Africa or even to India for you to do your NCLEX exam. You can just do it in London, because I know there's a test center in London. I know there's a test center for NCLEX in Belfast, that is in Northern Ireland. So those are some of the things that you can do. And that is why I said when I started, have a goal. Know that, okay, for example, I want to go to the US, but because I'm not able to do it right now, I'll go to the UK for 1 year or whatever years there will be. I'll study for my NCLEX, I'll do my NCLEX, and then I'll go to the US. It is very possible. Okay, guys, it's quite possible. Thanks. The other thing is about staying in the UK and making it work for you. Some of us are like, you know what, by the way, I'm not leaving this country. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to make it work for me. Oh yeah, I can see you, Gertrude. I'm preaching, sister. Make it work for you. Stay in the UK and say, you know what, come rain or shine, this country is going to give me what God promised for me. I'm going to get what I want and I'm going to give it to my children. I'm going to get what I want and I'm going to give it even to my other nurses. I'm going to reach out to somebody and I'm going to make them appreciate UK, because this place, come rain or shine, number one, you're going to give me money. You're paying my black tax. You are going to pay my black tax. Come what may. So I'm going to look for ways that I'm going to make nursing work for me. The beauty about the UK is, once you get your band 5, each and every qualified nurse starts at a band 5. Band 5 means that is the lowest level. Yeah, that's what we call it, the lowest level, the entry level. Thank you, not lowest. Entry level into the nursing profession. So once you get there, you stay, learn the system. That's what I say. Please.
Is it the lowest? Is it the lowest in terms of money?
Oh yeah. if the hospital is not considering experience, remember, because some hospitals are very nice, they consider your Kenyan experience. So and I'll talk about that. I need to make a note about that. I need to tell people what happened to me. So now what you do in that case is that you stay, learn the system. Do not be afraid of being a small fish in a large pond. Do not be afraid. I know maybe you were a charge nurse back in Kenya. Maybe you were a clinical instructor. Perhaps you are who was mentoring the likes of Kate, and here you are feeling band 5 and oh, what am I going to? Chill out, relax, take your time, bid your time, and then when the moment comes, Manzi, just strike in, go in for it, go and give it your best. And this is where I concur with our president. Kenyan nurses are some of the best trained in the world. Yes, we are, and we recognize opportunities and we go for them with a laser beam focus. We just go for it. We do not hold back. That's one thing that I know that happens to us. So take your time.
Thanks, Catherine.
Learn the system and then go in. Okay. You can become an advanced nurse practitioner. Here you must have a master's. I will not lie to you. You must have a master's for you to be an advanced nurse practitioner. You can be a nurse practitioner if you have a postgraduate diploma. You can be, what else can you be? You can also be a specialist nurse. Now, the thing is, we have so many specialties, and I think I mentioned this. One that I would want you to know is that we have a diabetes specialist nurse. It is a job that I am really interested in. I know I'm a renal nurse, but I'm like, ooh, I like diabetes nursing. So it's yet another thing. You can be a diabetes stroke endocrinology nurse. You can be, what is the other one that I had in mind? You can be a tissue viability nurse. For each and every nurse who has been doing wound care in Kenya, this is something that you can consider. So what I'm trying to say is, I do not want you as a nurse who has left Kenya to come to the UK. It can take 5 years and you're still a band 5. By then, tutakosana. You tell me what you're doing with your 5 years. No, I like it when nurses move from one level to another. Can you keep going, keep aiming higher? Go, 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 go. Do not be the type of nurses who come and stay, and then the only thing that you'll keep telling us is, I've been a nurse for 20 years. So what? Others have been there for 50 years. What's your difference? What's the difference between you and them? So identify your strengths quite early and go for them. Do not get into a comfort bubble. That's some of the things that Gertrude had mentioned. She talked about Kenya being a comfort bubble. Do not be in a comfort bubble, even if you're in Kenya. What more can you do? Last the week before last, I talked about one of my mentors, a nurse who had made it work for her, who refused to be employed in the private sector, who refused to be employed by the government, and she has made it work for her. She has started a care home agency, and a home-based agency, and she's doing amazingly well. What skills do you have as a nurse? Are you a pediatric nurse? Have you ever thought about starting a daycare with a difference? I mean, what do you know? Are you a midwife? Have you thought about mentoring young mothers about puerperoception, puerperodepression, puerperopsychosis, breastfeeding? What are you doing with your skills? Why are you just going to school for you to come get employed and complain about the union? Is that what you're not about? Is that, honestly speaking, is that all that you can do? Sit back and complain about Bwana Obengo. Sit back and complain about Bwana Fanyako. Really, do you want to tell me that with that beautiful head of yours and your very immaculate uniform, that's all that skills do you have? What's in your hand? When we look in the Bible, we see Moses being asked by God, what is in your hand? So you as a nurse in Kenya, what do you have? What are you doing with it? Are you going to live payslip to payslip? Is that the kind of life you want to live? Because if that is the kind of life you want to live, welcome to the UK, where we will make sure that you live from payslip to payslip. It is very possible here. Sawa sawa. So those are some of the things that I'll talk about. There's someone who had talked about other cadres. Somebody asked, can somebody come as a nutritionist? I'm interested to answer that question because my sister is a nutritionist. She just qualified. Now you can come to the UK as a dietitian. That's what they call them. But then again, I usually put all these people into other healthcare professional cadres, as apart from doctors. Doctors is different. I mean, that is medical doctors. So you can register to the Health and Care Professions Council. It is called the HCPC. You need to be registered with them while still in Kenya. You can only come to the UK after you've gotten a job. So check out that website. It's called the Health and Care Professions Council. Check out their website and see what they can do. Allow me to talk about one more thing. Suppose you're a nurse who wants to be a doctor. Suppose you are an occupational therapist who wants to be a doctor. That's a medical doctor. Suppose you are a physiotherapist who wants to be a doctor. What do? UK is one of the countries, and I wish people would know this, that UK is full of crazy opportunities. I know Amolo had discussed this in our group. I had told people about transitioning from nursing into medicine. It is very possible. One of the universities near where I live, that is Edinburgh University, it has a very beautiful program for you to transition from nursing or any other healthcare professional into medicine. Because remember, your anatomy and physiology is still the same. You'll just go a little bit deeper. Your pathology is still the same. The way a doctor will describe malaria, pathophysiology, it is the same that I will, if not better. So UK recognizes the strength that nurses have. Gosh, I'm bubbling inside. I'm like, you guys, can you see what I'm seeing here? I mean, it's amazing. And you will make an even better nurse, an even better doctor. So if you're some of those nurses who are like, I got an A, but my parents were not able to take me to medical school, to study medicine, so I became a nurse, but I still want to be a doctor. So this is your chance. Come to the UK, transition, become a doctor. Sawa sawa. There are no limits. You're not limiting yourself. No, and the sky is not even the limit. It is just a signpost of what you can do and what you can become, okay? So what I wanted to say I wanted to also talk about what Gertrude said, taking care of yourself, find out things that you do that you're taking care of yourself. For me, Gertrude, I buy happy pens. This is a pen that has a fishtail. Such pens just make me happy. The other thing is about mentors. You have talked about people being your mentors even when they don't know. I have a mentor in Kenya, and I don't know whether she will ever know that she's my mentor. Everyone knows her. That is Yvonne Okwara. She is my mentor. I know she doesn't know, or maybe we are never going to meet in this life, but that is just how people have mentors who they follow, and yet they do not know that they are mentors. I have another mentor who is our president, Bwana Obengo. He keeps challenging me. He keeps encouraging me to go for better. He keeps telling me, Catherine, I don't think you're going to do that. By the way you think about it, you're to make it. So those are some of the things. Do not wing it alone. I think one of the challenges that we faced when we were coming here in the UK in 2019 is that we didn't have people to give us information. Remember, you have information because we are there. We blazed the trail for you. You know, we went in and we absorbed the dew with our feet. It is for you to follow the footsteps. Do not be afraid of reaching out to us. Do not be afraid of asking us questions. And remember, you're not alone. I like saying this because it is the truth. You're not alone. You're not alone, and you will never be. So what I wanted to say about what happened to me, I had mentioned that what happened to me because Ronald had said that I talk about something specific in the UK. When I left the care home, I applied to be working in a renal unit. But when I got posted, someone thought it was funny for them to put me in a COVID ward because he had a COVID ward. So I was like, why are you putting me in a COVID ward? And you know, the person was like, even when they were signing my papers, instead of signing a nurse, they wrote what do we call them? Healthcare assistant. You know, they thought I am a healthcare assistant. And that thing really hurt me. I was like, no, but I'm a nurse. That person just dismissed me. But I put my foot down. Believe you me, I did. I put my foot down and I was placed where I was supposed to be placed. They usually sign your competencies. That is you know, you have a probationary period whenever you're employed, don't you? You always do. So they say you're supposed to take about 6 weeks for you to be signed off. I did that within 4 weeks, and I established myself. You know, that moment where there's something Amolo said. She said, Sirengi, you know, I mean, I'm proud na sikwa ubaya. So there comes that time when you will have to show up for yourself. Nurses, you must show up for yourself. You'll have to defend yourself at some point. You'll have to prove that you're worth what you say you're worth. And because of some of those things, within a very short time of myself joining the hospital, they made me a junior staff mentor. So that is why when Gertrude talks about mentorship, I know it is very important because now I am officially one of the staff mentors at the place where I work. I mean, some of these things need you to stand out. There are so many nurses in the world. What's unique about you? Why should we listen to you? Why should we read what you write? Why should we watch your videos? Why should I trust my mom with you? Why should anyone in Kenya ask you a question? What's different about you? I want you to think about some of those things. I hope with these very many words, you're in a better position than you are. Remember that life is brief, even at its longest. These are some of the things that you need to realize today, that life is brief, even as its longest. Make it count. Please make it count. Do not sit down thinking, you know, you're thinking about what to do. Come on, do something about it. And this is your chance. So welcome everyone to the UK. I keep telling people there is space for everybody. There is space for Kenyan nurses in the UK. Asanteni sana.
Wow. Thanks, Kate, for the wisdom. I think that's the right word I can use, because that's very insightful for sure. You've gone to, you know, describing every detail, you know, that is very, and of course, challenging nurses from wherever they are. And of course, even challenging the ones in the UK. You know, you have to always better yourself each day, right? Yeah, your version tomorrow should be a different version compared to who you are today, and of course who you were yesterday. So thanks for that very insightful discussion, Catherine.
Thank you.
So I'm sure we've spent 2 hours already into this. I'm happy to see that we still have more than 100 people still listening into this conversation. That means it's very, very important. There's one nurse by the name Patricia. If you're there, kindly unmute yourself and say hi to people. And of course, maybe within 1 minute, share just your story. Are you there, Patricia? Patricia, are you there? Okay, then that's fine. I hope we'll find Patricia, but as we find Patricia, I will take the ball back to, the second last speaker. And of course, we've spoken the big things about how to, prepare, how to be resilient, how to be a good nurse, but it's also very important to what are some of the specifics you need to do. So I'll give a chance to, because one of the things, you can't go to UK if you don't know how to communicate in English. I mean, it's illogical anyway, because we speak English from class 1 all the way to university, but somebody will still want to force us to do an English test to certify our proficiency the same. But we can't do anything about it, at least for now. We have to do the exam, which is very important. So as we want to pursue that journey abroad, we want to do that exam. And as much as some people assume that it's easy, there are people who have taken the exam even 5-6 times, and you can calculate at an average cost of 27,000 Kenya shillings for an exam, doing it 5 times. You can be a better mathematician than me. So let me welcome Livingstone. Livingstone will take you in a very short presentation what we do as Village to prepare you for Ielts training, and probably just to say we have our intake every 1st and 15th of every month, and that means today the classes will be kicking off tomorrow. And as Maslin mentioned, we ensure that candidates through the Village platform or through the Village international channel, we're able to get you to the UK in a record period of 4 to 6 weeks. So if you start preparing, if you get your CPT today and you get your Ielts today, then we can guarantee you that at least you'll be in the UK in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Of course, that's also contingent on you as a nurse, because you have to be interviewed and you have to be really a good professional for you to get that job. So Livingstone, if you're there, unmute yourself and take us through Ielts training at Village International Limited. Thank you. And also just to mention, we are circulating forms, and as Livingstone prepares, we also asking you, just share your experience with us. We want to know how the session was and where we're supposed to improve going forward. So just fill that form, and at the same time, fill the form expressing your interest to probably join our IELTS classes or going to work in the UK, or many other things that we do offer. So welcome, Livingstone, and for the rest you can fill the poll as we proceed. Thanks.
Hi everyone.
And probably even before Livingstone starts, I mean, Livingstone just finished his quarantine in the UK. So he's, I think that's a statement enough. Welcome, Livingstone.
Okay, thank you, Ronaldo. The rest have spoken some insightful information. Even for me, I'm here running a road by the fact that I'm very new here. I'm still finding myself through the Google Map. Like today, I lost my way from the hotel when I was coming from a barber shop. I had to use a Google Map. So I'm still finding my way here. But the rest of the speakers, I say it has been very helpful for me, and I'm sure it has been so much a lot of wisdom shared to the rest of nurses back in Kenya. So for me, I'm going to speak about the Ielts training and the exam. The Ielts means International English Language Testing System. It is usually tested in Kenya or managed by the British Council and the IDP. So the IDP means International Education Specialists. The two organizations are the ones that offer the exams in Kenya. So like you need to do the IELTS exam for you to migrate and work in the UK. So because today I will speak specifically about the UK journey, because that's the journey we are talking about. So for the UK, you as a nurse, you need the IELTS test. As Ronald has said, like you have been speaking English the rest of your life, but like the reason why we, as Relege, we are training you, because the exam requires you to do it in a certain manner. Like it's not like it needs a certain structure in those sections of that exam. And as Relege, we are there to guide you and even tell you what is expected of you, and take you through the training, so that when you tackle the exam, you'll be able to know what is expected of you. So like there usually two types of the IELTS exam. That is there is the general and the academic. The general one is usually tested especially for most people who are not professionals, or not joining the colleges here. So the type of IELTS that is required here is the academic one. So like when you start the process with Relege, we will tell you about which one you are going to undertake, and that is the I'll be speaking about the academic, because it's the academic IELTS that is required for you to work in the UK. So we usually have different categories of the training. We have the main classes that runs for 7 weeks. That is, we usually have listening section 1 week, reading section another 1 week. Then we have writing divided into task 1 and task 2. For task 1 is 2 weeks, and the task 2 is another 2 weeks. And then we finish with the speaking, which takes a week, whereby like it's an interview call, because even the main exam, it will be an interview with the examiner. So like we do those the speaking test of interview. I'll take you through the specific and which means we use for the training. We have spoken about the main class. We also have a marathon class where it takes 3 weeks, and for this marathon class is specifically for people who are needed refresher classes. So they have booked an exam at a sooner date. So like you want to go through all the section in a short period. So we have a class that is customized for you. We also have special classes. There are some who have taken the exam and they have failed. So they want to repeat training on specific areas. Either you can be doing the training just for the reading section, or just for the writing section. Yeah, so we have also the special classes for you. For those special classes and marathon classes, the intake is always every week, at the start of every week. For the main classes is usually at the start of the month and at the mid month. That's where in every month of the year. So like for the training is usually via WhatsApp groups. So like for this, we understand that most nurses are working, and also they have the family obligations. So like we understand that like I may post the assignment and the tutorials there in morning, but you are not expected to like at work you hide yourself in the toilet and reply to my assignments. No, like finish your shift, go back at home, cook for your family, like and like find an hour or two and do the assignments. And because like you see the training is like almost 2 months, it will be conducive for you. It is you can do it, even like you can even request the assignment to be posted even past midnight, so that you can wake up an hour earlier than the time you prepare for work, and like you can tackle the assignments, or you can do it later on after you are through with your day shift. So it's flexible for anyone. So anyone working can be able to go through our classes with ease. They also the aspect of the being committed. Like you have to know that like this is the first step for you to go to the UK journey, the USA journey. All those journeys requires the IELTS exam. So like you have to be committed. Yeah, I understand that you'll be at work. Some of the private hospitals in Kenya like very tiresome. So like you just need like go refresh, get that 30 minutes, 1 hour, be committed to submit the assignments, and like with your commitment, like you'll be able to go through the classes, and you're sure to pass in your first attempt. So like we usually use the WhatsApp group. We also organize Zoom meetings, mostly weekly, for the specific classes. If it is the listening class, you organize with the mentor of that class, and you have a Zoom call, and he or she will explain the specific sections that are proving to be difficult to the students. So we do that. We do that via WhatsApp groups and also via the Zoom meetings. So like for the exam, especially for the band score for the UK, the listening you have to have a 7 and above. Reading you have to have a 7 and above. For the writing you have to have a 6.5 and above, and speaking you have to be a 7. So every section you have to have a 7 and above, except for the writing, which is a 6.5. So like that's why like you see the scores are a bit high. So like that's why we request for you to join our classes, so that you are sure to pass on the first attempt. So after like the 7 weeks of the main class, we usually have we put the students on the revision classes, whereby you continue with your revision until when you book your exam. Of course, we usually recommend students to book an exam not more than a month from finishing your classes, so that like everything will still be fresh in your mind, and like you don't finish the exam and you spend like 5 months without doing the exam. You'll forget most of the aspects of the training. So we advocate that you book your exam earlier enough, so that everything will be fresh. And like we have those revision classes, and we usually ensure that the student engage in those revision classes, so that everything remains at the tip of their fingers when they undertake the exam. So we also, as Rirej, we are also planning to have a mock test. So in different areas of Kenya, like in different towns. So like the mock test will enable the student to have a physical exam. Like we put it, the mock exam will be like the main exam. So that you will not find the exam when you're doing the exam. It's the first time you are seeing an invigilator. You are putting the headphones for the listening. The mock test will the mock test will enable you to have a real experience of the main exam. And I'm sure even
and
some
just
will
to, just to elaborate on the aspect of the mock test, we have a partnership with, you know, with one of our friends in Eldoret. So you can be assured that, for example, if you're in Eldoret, you'll be able to get, especially if you want to do either computer tests or paper-based, either of them, you just walk into Kikao Center in Eldoret, and I'm happy that the founder of Kikao is here with us. Abel, I don't know whether you could probably unmute yourself and just say hi. So we have a new partnership with Kikao in Eldoret. All related issues will be handled from there. And at the same time, also for you as a nurse, training, maybe if you want, if you want good time to kind of do the final marathon for your revisions, you can go to Kikao, and they have they have fantastic, I'll say, desktops or laptops or environment, and probably you can be served coffee at some point. So just revise from there, and you can, do the exam after that. So it's a good partnership, all in a bid to ensure that at least nurses can be able to do their IELTS exam and their revisions well. So welcome, Livingston, again. Just proceed and finish up.
Okay, like Ronald has explained well about the mock test. I would say we train both on paper-based and computer-based. For the paper-based, the exam has been being offered by the British Council. So like you go there and the exam is you hand write. So mostly we train that, and also like for the computer-based, understanding that now with the COVID-19 restrictions, most of the organization are offering only the computer-based. So if you are confident that you can try that, depending on, in the UK journey, it also depends by how urgent are you. So if you really want to keep everything moving, you join our classes. We put you on the training, and we put you through the computer based. We have all those materials to help you even be able to undertake the computer based exam. That's all. I also will like to mention, like, also for my journey, one of the things that really drained me was the fact that the UK journey amidst COVID, like my results, like the when it was the first lockdown, like my result, I could see from my account in the British Council that I really passed well. I got almost every section a 9. So like I could see that, but I couldn't get my certificate because the British Council had crossed down. They couldn't even send via DHL. So I had to wait for almost 5 months. So like in this journey to the UK, you really need to be resilient. You have to have that patience and I know why are you going for this journey. So like when you know the reason why you are in this journey, like you'll be patient, you'll be committed in doing those assignments, and I'm sure you'll make it.
Thank you. Thank you, Livingston, for that. I mean, if you're interested in Ielts training, thanks for the people who have responded to the poll. Many of you are interested in the 1st May and 15th May. So just reach out to us. I'm sure you can see from the chats the conducts and the forms to fill. So I'm sure you're very tired because it's now 2 hours and 23 minutes since we started. But I'm happy to see you all here. I wish I could see you all on videos on, but I know we are adults, so we can't be forced to do stuff, but that's fine. So thank you. I mean, so the last aspect of the UK process, you need to be certified as a UKRN before you can probably even think about going to work there. So that process entails doing an exam called CBT. And I'm sure you heard from Eunice before. Eunice is one of the directors here with us at Railage, and I'm sure she can share in a few minutes, probably in 1 or 2 minutes, Eunice, anything about CBT, and we just encourage anyone who hasn't taken CBT to start, because that is like a must-have for you to get to the UK, right?
Yeah. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. Although it's already like we have been already inside, but still welcome. Yeah, my name is Eunice, one of the directors in Railage and CBT trainer. Ronald, it will be hard for me to use 2 minutes. Allow me to use 5 or 10 because CBT is a core exam in this journey, actually. It's a test of competence that NMC look for. And then we are happy to help you, everyone, in this journey. And another thing about CBT is that someone talked about it and said that it's the easiest. I would say yes, but with support and someone to hold your hand, yes, it is. Also put in your weight, your energy, your concentration, and your time. We shall make it together. So currently CBT has been there for all international nurses, and it's computer-based, actually, not paper-based. It's computer-based test. It's MCQs, ABC, D, you choose one. It's 120 questions done in 3 hours. Then very recently, the UK has decided to change it to change the structure of the exam. It has been like theory continuously, but now it has been divided into 2, whereby we have part 1, which is numerical, numbers, calculations. Then you have part 2, theory. So I'd like just to tell nurses, don't worry about this, because the numeracy about the questions is just easy. Like a question as simple as someone will need to have Brufen or paracetamol. Let me use paracetamol. He's supposed to have 1 gram of paracetamol, but the combination that is there is 500 mg. So how many paracetamols will you give this patient? Definitely there are 2 tablets that will give to make it 1 gram. So when we hear that NMC is going to be changed into 2 parts, it's very difficult. No much difference, just the same. The simple calculations that Kenyan nurses, African nurses have been doing is still there. Very simple things that we do at home are the ones we are just going to apply here. Another thing, I've been getting some inboxes, people asking me that we hear the new CBT is going to be done somewhere else, not in our countries. So I'd like to come clear on that, telling you that our CBT, the new CBT will start from 1st of August. So the new CBT will start from 1st of August. It will be in 2 parts. Part A, numeracy, part B, theory. It will be done in our centers, the Pearson centers that have been doing it. In whatever country you are, I'm talking like this because we have other people from other countries. So in Kenya, it has been always in Nairobi, Westlands. In Uganda, it's in Kampala. Other countries, they have their Pearson View centers. But the examining body will be handled by Afya Plus, together with the Pearson. So the emails that we'll be getting from now, when you apply, from 1st of August, actually, if you do your exam from there, it will have the email and the domain at afyaplus.com, something to do with Afya Plus. So make sure that you check your junk emails to see. And our intakes for CBT is 1st of January, or 1st and 15th of every month, sorry for that. And we welcome every one of you, and it's just 1,800 for that training. So it's good. It's good we do it, and quite unfortunate that I had to talk last when everyone else has talked. So I have no time to tell you my story because I have a big story as well, a very encouraging story, but next webinar I shall talk about it. So if anyone has a question about CBT, you can ask. And also maybe to add on it, because of time, I'm just like rushing very fast, but I had good notes about it. So the CBT, the numeracy part will take 15 questions, and it will have 30 marks. Then the remaining part, which will be part 2, will be theory, which will carry 100 marks, and it will be 2 hours, 30 minutes. Each part will be marked separately. Part A will be marked separately. If you pass, you'll be given a pass in part A. You get a pass in part B, it will be given pass in part B. If you fail in part A and pass in part B, the result will come like you have passed part A, failed part B, so you'll receive part A. You'll receive that part that you failed. Not like the previous one, whereby you do the exam, the answer is either pass or fail. This one will have 2 parts. You have failed part A, receipt part A. You have failed part B, receipt part B. So with the normal CBT, the results have been coming. You do the exam, after hours, you get your results. But from August, when you do your exam, the results will come within 15 working days. Are we there?
Yes, we are keenly listening.
So again, I took some question whereby someone asked about maybe foreign treatment, foreigners, how we are treated here. I would say it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be in the UK. Everybody is lovely, everybody is supportive, everybody is like treating us like the nurses we need to be treated. So just come share the experience. Then someone talked about the documents needed for registration for NMC. First of all, when you start your journey thinking of coming to the UK, make sure that you have the relevant documents and the documents that we need. The documents that we need for our CBT, first of all, you must have your passport. To come to the UK, you need your passport. You need your certificate of good conduct. You need your birth certificate. You need your ID. Maybe you'll be asked your ID somewhere. And of course, you need some money at each step of the process. So documents needed, I think I've said something about it. I've been taking some notes about what people have been asking.
Maybe, maybe,
Yes.
maybe use as you find the questions. We can take any live questions, like guys can ask you directly any questions they have about CBTs and
Yes, yes. If you can unmute them, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Any questions, please?
Mercy Korir has a question, please. She's raised her hand. Please unmute her, please.
Mercy. Okay, no worries. Hey, Mercy.
Hi.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Mercy. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I have a concern about my passport.
Yes.
I applied it some time back, but it is taking a bit longer than I expected to get it. So I don't know how you guys are going to help me so that I can be able to book the CBT exam. Thank you.
Good morning.
You still need passport to book CBT.
Yeah, for you to do CBT, you need a passport because you must register with the NMC first. Then when you do the registration process, they give you a letter allowing you now to sit for it. It's called ATT. So you need the passport.
Okay.
So maybe you'll talk to us. We can try to help, but not so sure if it will work. We can try to write to them to see if it can work, but sometimes, with this COVID, things will be like hard. We do try, we have tried for some, we wrote them letters and it worked. So we can try, but we don't promise that it will really work because of how things are at the moment.
But at the same time, your Kenyan ID can also work. They just need a form of identification for you to access the exam. So if you register with a passport on the day of the exam, you go with your passport. If you register, use your ID to register, please, on the day of the exam, go with your ID, because Pearsonville will only accept the registration document that you use. As Eunice says, we'll try to, sometimes we write to these centers, the immigration centers, to try and push up the process, but it's just trying our luck, you see, and sometimes it's positive, sometimes no response, yeah.
And then another thing is this. For us to continue, when you think about your dream to go to the UK, to the US, everywhere, we start our journey as early as now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start as early as now, but even if it will take long, it doesn't mean that now it's lost. You can still follow your dream. Wait for it. If there's a way you can follow up, sometimes these people who are there, they need you to go there physically. You go there, you talk to someone and they listen. Okay. You wait, others are still waiting, things might not move. So if you can go there, give it a try.
Please, Ronald, okay, sorry. Please unmute Hillary as well.
Okay. So are we able, Eunice, we are done, right? Hey, Hillary, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
We're actually expecting your question. You raised your hand, sir.
Then
Or you just appreciating Eunice for the nice presentation?
Okay. Okay, I was appreciating for the nice presentation.
Nice.
Thank you for
Thank you. I think
then also, Ronald, allow me to
Just
talk
that.
about call from people. People have been asking for other jobs. On behalf of Village, I would like just to tell people that when we started like, we would like to help nurses come. I did share my story and I tell you a big story. So when you are here, you feel like we have some things we didn't get because we didn't have information. Now we are here, we can help someone work. About getting other form of jobs, we can't promise we will give you, but we are going to sit down seriously with us Village and think about it, because UK, when we moved out of the EU, doors opened, so we shall work on that. Nurses, come, help your families from here, help other people from here and to other places. We shall also work on that. We don't promise we'll give you work. Nurses, it's like easy because they are needed actually. But other jobs, we can see how we can help. Try to help.
Yeah, can explore the options.
We shall look for other options because actually doors have opened and we can do something.
May I ask a question?
Yes, Joy.
Okay, like today, I was trying to register through I was trying to register online and I reached a place where I was stuck at a place where they asked me to make a payment. Then they were giving options of Visa, Barclays card, if I'm not wrong. Then I was stranded. I was trying to register for the CBT, creating the NMC account. I was stuck there and I didn't know how to go about it.
Okay. So what happens when you are registering for your CBT? When you reach appointment, they give you options. Most of our ATM cards are Visa. You look at your ATM because they have given you the options.
Yeah.
So you'll find that if yours is MasterCard, you'll just click on MasterCard. If it's Visa, click on Visa. Then it will tell you how to go about it. And also make sure that the link that you are using is the genuine link. We give you the link, so you don't pay money to something wrong. So in our training, in our chats, in our groups, we give the genuine links. You follow the link, you'll pay. And then I've seen, which was not there when we did ours, definitely, they are giving an option of buying a voucher. So if you try to do it, then it doesn't work. You can still buy a voucher. On the website, they say you can buy a voucher. Okay. So, and still, we are still here, only that we are in this meeting. You can reach us through our inboxes. We shall still help you because that's what we do. We help you freely.
Okay, thank you.
Good, thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Ronald, can we find Patricia again? Patricia, are you there? If somebody can unmute Patricia, please, for just 1 minute.
I don't see Patricia, you know. I've not seen a name. She's using a different name.
All right. Okay.
Let's tell her to raise her hand.
Raise up your hand, Patricia, wherever you are.
Agao has a question, Rebecca.
Hi, Master.
Hi, Rebecca.
My question is,
yeah,
how long does it take for one to get an exam date? Let's say if I book my Ielts tomorrow, when the person to do exam?
Sorry?
I'm asking.
Yeah.
How long does it take for one to get an exam date? Let's say if I do my booking tomorrow on Monday, when will I have my exam? After how long should one get exam date given?
You see, when you are doing your booking, the exam dates will be there. So it's up to you. You are the one to select which date you want to do the exam. So the dates are there for you to pick. There's no other schedules. The booking comes with the dates.
Okay.
So
It's like a calendar. You just pick on the date.
You just
that you
select
feel
on the
like
date that you
convenient,
want to do it.
and then you select with time that is convenient for you as well.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I want to steal this opportunity to thank all the nurses at Top Hill. There's a hospital called Top Hill in Eldoret, and they've really done a wonderful job on somebody I love very much. I've been trying to reach you guys like forever. So if any of you is here, please reach out. I need some TED stockings as well. If you are in Eldoret and you know where I can get TED stockings, please, I really urgently need them. Thank you.
Hi, Ronald. I think someone by the name Tom wants to ask a question. So he's trying to raise up his hand. So
Okay.
That's someone, yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My concern is on examination centers for IELTS. Are all the centers equipped for computer-based and the paper-based exams?
Sorry?
I'm based in Eldoret.
Yeah.
And my concern was for the IELTS centers.
Yes.
Do they all offer computer-based and paper-based IELTS exam?
Okay, to answer that question very quickly, the computer-based exams is just a consequence of COVID-19. We all used to have paper-based exam where you go to the exam center and sit for your exam, but computer-based came because of the start of COVID-19 and the need to keep social distances, to keep people at home. So currently, because of the restrictions that were there that have just been lifted today by the president, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, computer-based is what has been. So we are waiting for further communication from the examining bodies, that is the British Council and the IDP centers, to tell us, to indicate on their.
Sorry, Mercy, just proceed.
Sorry, you have to keep checking. I know with the lifting of the restrictions in the red listed areas, such as Nairobi, I believe that the centers are going to open for paper-based again. The computer-based has just been because of COVID, and people need to move as well. People need to live with, adjust with COVID. So we don't know when it is going to go away. So I think sooner or later, we are going to have the paper-based back as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Marceline and Eunice. I mean, I think we are wrapping up. So I can see Jeffrey. How are you, sir? Oh, let me unmute you, actually. Sorry for that.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm very fine, glad to see you.
We know you just not landed, actually. You've spent some time in the UK already.
Yeah.
So how is it so far?
Guys, it's good, and I encourage those who have not started, waanze. And those who are on process, stay focused. It's coming.
Nice, nice.
IELTS, for those who want to do computer-based, so I did my computer-based, and it's good. I encourage those who have average typing speed, go for computer-based. You don't have to be like a computer guru for you to do computer-based. Yeah. One advantage is that it helps you in counting the words, especially in writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you don't overspend time on one question, right?
Yeah, like you go back counting how many words did I write?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks for the shout out, actually, from the UK. So how is life? Hope it's fine and taking you well. And we can actually see from the outlook. So
guys, let's encourage one another, tusaidiane, tukuje huku.
Kabisa. I think that's the message.
Yeah.
So any other thing, any other question?
For those who are, wenye najua kuna watu acha niongee Kiswahili, kuna wenye sitaki wasikie chenye naongea around.
Yeah.
Kuna watu wengi wanakwama sijui registration, mara hawana passport, hawana nini. Kuna kusaidika. So watu wasikae hapa wakisema sijapata passport, sianza hii process. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Jeff, for your time, sir.
Jeff, we'll give you more time. We'll give you more time in our next webinar, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Namasi, unikumbushe mapema wa Namasi.
I will. I definitely communicate in time. I'll ensure that.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? Or we can unmute everyone to just say thank you and we'll be wrapping up.
I would like to appreciate everyone. I called on you and you responded. Mr. President Alfred Obengo, I really appreciate. Catherine Maina, aka Kate Mimi, I love you guys. I love you, Gertrude, my neighbor. I'm coming for the left bits of your Mrenda soon. I really appreciate this. Thank you so much. And our team, Relay team, we are happy to have you on board. We are there for you and we will support you in your way. Thank you very much for showing up.
Thank you. I think that's what I can say. Gitonga, we can see you, sir.
Oh, somebody's asking about, sorry, Ronald. Somebody's asking about mock centers. We are going to introduce, we already have a center actually in Eldoret.
Yeah.
And I think one in Nairobi is just being set up.
And the good thing is they just lifted the lockdown stuff.
They lifted the lockdown. So it's an advantage to us because we are going to, all our students, we are going to put you through a mock test to just ensure that you are ready for your IELTS exam.
Yeah,
I think that is a plus. It is a plus. You'll know whether you are ready or you still need to do some revision, right?
Yeah. So we can actually do the mock test hopefully in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So just get ready, subscribe, be part of us, like our community. Most importantly, arm yourself with the right attitude, right? Otherwise, ukisema tu vitu ngumu unajua zitakuwa tu ngumu. Ukisema hata kama ni ngumu itawezekana. I think that's the right word. Good, thanks. So maybe we can chat to each other for 1 or 2 minutes, then I think we'll be ending the session. And thanks, Catherine, for turning up. Gertrude, for the nice talk. And most importantly, the president himself for that insightful discussion.
Hey, Ronald, can you hear me?
Look, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah.
We can hear you, sir, unless you're preparing your speech.
We lost him.
Can you hear me? Can you please give us your contacts?
Oh, Village contacts?
Yes.
Good. It will be shared now. Thanks, Joyce, for that clarification.
Ronald.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, sir.
I have something to say.
Yeah.
Good.
Those who are, especially those who are in advanced stages, please answer to after good conduct. Police clearance. Yeah, those last minute rushes. Hailetangi shangwe.
It causes a lot of delay, my people. It causes delay. Please start early. By all means, Sir Jeff, thank you very much for that. Please start early because, as I said, the UK process, the timeline solely depends on you as an individual. It really depends on you in meeting the requirements that are needed. Certificate of good conduct, is it the checkup form, medical, whatever. getting all that and keeping everything ready, your passport. So it is just on you. It's all on you. And we are here to guide. We are here to guide. Thanks.
May I say something?
Yes, I proceed.
This is my first time attending such a webinar. And I had never considered going abroad. And until 2 months ago, I met a friend and he informed me about Real Age. And I've been reading through the content which you've been posting from different participants. And today, it has been confirmed to me that this is actually possible. And there are better opportunities for us out there. I'm one of those guys who did nursing just because my parents asked me to, and I didn't have any option. So in school, I really didn't put much effort. Neither did I fail, but I graduated, and it's been status quo. It's been as long as life is moving. But today I'm saying there is a bright future. There are opportunities there. I even had something that you can actually transition to something that you wanted to do before you even came to nursing. And I think I'm enrolling to start this process.
Wow,
so Ronald and your team, this is wonderful. It is very informative, and continue empowering us with the information. It is lack of information. That is why some of us are still in the darkness. And please continue reaching out. So many people are really suffering, especially in Kenya. The meager, the peanut payments. They're not satisfied with everything in life just because of the situation in which we are as nurses. So big ups. Thank you very much for the information. May God bless you.
Thank you, sir. So your official name is?
My name is Dennis.
Dennis. Good. Thanks, Dennis. Wow, that's very moving. Thanks.
You're welcome. I appreciate it.
Sorry. Next question. Ross, we can see you. Maybe do you want to ask anything? I know you're working, hopefully.
Yes, I'm working.
Thanks. I'm speaking to Ross. You can see Ross
sorry.
here.
Sorry.
Good. Otherwise, I think just to appreciate everyone. Emma, I know you're in Canada now. Maybe one word to the audience. I know we'll be sharing about the Canada, journey. Hopefully in the next webinar. Let me see what's the results of the poll. Canada, actually. People want to go to Canada also. So just a one word to everyone who attended the session.
Okay, thank you, Ronald, for welcoming me and giving me this opportunity to say hi to everyone. My name is Emma Mwindi. I'm logged in from Canada in Nova Scotia, and it's quite a good opportunity to have you here. And I just want to encourage every nurse out there that there are opportunities for you. Don't feel like you have to go for less because you're in Kenya. We have many opportunities in the international market, and we are here to support you as Real Age. I am one of the directors as well, and I want to tell you to come on board, make the first step. Don't just listen and stay with the information without taking any action. Thank you so much and have a good night.
Thank you, Emma. I think we can just unmute ourselves and speak anything as we wrap up.
Seems like Ross wants to say something. Yeah.
Ross.
Yes.
Yes, Ross, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
We're good, actually.
Okay, thank you for your informative subjects. Personally, I've already enrolled in Ielts.
Wow, good.
I'm done with the classes. I'm waiting for the mock test. But meanwhile, I'm also revising for my CPT come July 19th. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'll be joining you soon.
That's nice. So
And I'm just here happy to receive. If COVID
Yes.
allowed, I would come to Heathrow for you.
By the way, I'm a mental health nurse.
Please, I'm looking for you and your team. I really need you guys.
Yeah.
Yes. Hope you're doing mental health CPT, right?
Yeah, I'll be
Yes.
doing it, but I've
Yes.
not yet enrolled in classes.
All right.
You should actually.
Yeah.
You should start,
I wanted first to complete my IELTS so that I can go on CBT, but I've already registered.
That's nice. When is your IELTS?
I've not yet booked. I was waiting for the paper-based to be
okay.
released in Nairobi. Yeah.
It should be out soon because of the lifting of the
Computer
lockdown.
base is for the typing speed guys, eh? All right.
Yeah. That's nice. Thanks, Russ, for that. And all the best to you and your colleagues.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Your colleague as well. Your
Yeah.
colleague as well can join,
Yeah, by the way, you can just let
the two of you,
little
yeah.
collegiality, colleague, just move to anyway.
I was looking for a platform for medical laboratory scientists to join there.
Oh, nice. Hatujaanza hiyo
Hello.
sahi, but I'm sure we can explore options as we move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night too. Thanks.
Okay, guys.
Good. I think we're done. Thank you, guys.
Lovely meeting you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We can't thank you enough. Thank you for
Thank
the
you,
speakers, for
everyone.
our guests. We
Thank
really
you guys,
appreciate it.
and yeah.